Hello and welcome to another beautiful night of Mahjong in the ARML. My name is Tucker, and I am joined tonight by Ty. How you doing, Ty?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. How about you?
I'm doing pretty okay. Did get an unfortunate letter. Apparently, 4 months ago, when I moved out of my apartment, I did not give like the exact amount of notice they wanted, and they sent me a pretty hefty bill for it. So that's what I was doing right before stream.
Oh,
But
Lordy.
hopefully there's a lot less money being exchanged over these games. I actually think that would kind of be against the rules. But this is a wonderful high pie for TJ to start, who will be our first dealer.
Home.
To the right is Pio, across the table is Brendan, and to the left is Carly. Would you have also taken that immediate red dragon pawn there?
Uh, when I'm dealer, my main fixation is oftentimes, and I don't know if this is correct, but it's very rarely on how do I get value out of his hand. Instead, it's how do I play again. Like, the dealer seat to me is a great opportunity to get some points in, and and this hand is good enough to go ahead and call down, especially if we can pair up this white dragon, and also especially noting that that the red dragon would be dead otherwise, so you kind of have to take this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And I feel the exact same way, especially in a league without red fives. Since ARML is a Akanashi league, I feel like the speed as dealer is even more influential, important. Nah, I can't think of the right word, but I would definitely be intending on Doratanki here.
hmm I
Like,
think
I'm not really planning on drawing another. I just kind of assume I'm going to chi the 8 mon and then end up on the white dragon weight.
I think the one thing that's going to gum up the works on that though is it looks like there's at least two other. Oh, I was about to say two other players have the same plan, but it looks like Brendan has decided that's not how today's going to work. But that is
Yeah,
also
after drawing the third Hatsu,
Gee,
it doesn't help the hand at all. Ooh, and there's Tempai on the left after one call. Just waiting on 5 mon though. That's Tanyan Nomi.
yep.
Oh, and there's the second white dragon.
Ooh, interesting.
Well, now I feel like the white dragon is just a safe tile, although we could definitely see Pio wait on it. It wouldn't be the first time Pio's done a hell wait on a Doratanki.
Yeah, and honestly, this could go either way. I could also see TJ doing the same thing. Oh, well, that answers that question. And goodbye, Dora. And especially with no red fives in this league, that does mean that you're going to have to find value elsewhere. That could be from a Ricci, that could be from your shapes, but ooh, a little bit of backfire for Brendan there on the 6 pin draw. But we're going to take it
Is
anyway.
going to take it. Do you tend to take those? Or do you toss the 6 pin back?
I would be a little hesitant to take this one. However, you have to look the 4 pin. It looks super dead on the board, let alone the one that's still being held. So, like, at least even with Ferritin options, this is still more options. And at this point, if I'm Brendan, I might just be looking for Tempai.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a Yaku no matter what, at least, since there are. Ooh, that 5 mon deals in if it comes out. It'd only be worth 1,000 points, but. And we do see the hesitation there. Cuts the 5 instead. A very neat little dodge from Brendan. And there's Tempai for TJ. That 8 weight also very dead. It's going to be hard to win that one. The 7 mon might help Brendan here.
つも
Oh,
Oh, or you just sumo. Get an extra 100 points out of it that way. And this is actually another decent high pie for TJ, even though Pio is our new dealer. And the 1 mon is the Dora, which there's already a pair of those in Carly's hand to the left.
home. Yep.
Oh, and we have another quick pawn on this round.
Oh, no waiting around today. We've got some mahjong to play apparently. Let's see. It does not look like that hand's going to be particularly expensive, but there's also sometimes, if you don't think you're going to find it, you might as well score what you can, because any hand scored is still worth more than anything you didn't win.
That's very true. This is the more interesting decision. Yes, does call the white dragon. Whenever your only pair... Oh, no, the 4-mon's also a pair. Okay, no, that's fine. I'm always like a little... It could be hesitant. Like if it was a 4-mon, 5-mon, for example, then it's like, do we take the white dragon and lose our pair? It does double our value.
Yep, it does double our value. We think we still might find the East. We're not the most excited about these shapes, but at this point, we're going to take what we can get. Ooh.
Now it might actually be turning into Toy Toy a little bit. Taking the efficient route, though. Not going to full commit by discarding 6-0 or anything crazy like that.
And at some point, you have to at least consider the fact that East will suddenly go from feel like a relatively safe tile, hedging some value. If you don't see it after a while, you start to get a little suspicious.
Yeah, around turn 8 or 9, I think, is when I start to get the heebie-jeebies around live Yakuhai. Although there was one discarded on turn 4 from TJ that I actually missed.
Yep.
Ooh, that 5-so is a very nice shape upgrade for Pio.
Oh, yep.
I wonder if Pio will discard a pair to go for the straight.
Yeah, I like this. It keeps the hand callable while still maintaining a Yaku. It's too early to be thinking about things like just getting value out of the draw. So we might as well see what value we can pull out of this. And it's callable. If we can draw it, that's even better. And we could still end up on a Pinfu shape if we're very lucky with a 2-so draw.
That would be an incredible draw. The West being safe now is very reassuring. And this is not the Pinfu draw, but it is still a very nice hand as dealer. So Richi Itsu, nice little 3-han hand here, waiting on the 2-so.
And there's the second one, but we're going to hold on to it for now.
Yeah, I mean, the so tiles look absolutely murderous. I mean, I imagine the only reason Brendan's pushing 4-so, 8-so here is because there's just absolutely nothing safe in the hand anyway. You could discard both of the 4-mon, but you're going to be stranded after that, so you kind of might as well push.
And the 4-mon the 4-mon are technically better, but we're here already.
And waiting on something that looks good. That's going to be the 2-so coming out, though.
It was a good
the nice
too.
Pinfu Tanyao, yeah.
And those are always the ones that get you. The ones where you're like, oh, well, I have the Tempai, I might as well take it. Well, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I think that was the right call. It was a nice, valuable hand, but oh god, I think I realized what you're owing about here.
Yes, we already have 4 pairs, but I don't know if I dare think of this as a Chitoy hand, because one of those pairs is the double East, also Dora. And we see one other on the board in TJ's hand. This could get expensive. There's been relatively small exchanges happening so far. This might rock the boat.
Yeah, I would actually call this 1-so, and Pio does as well. Going to go Atazuke here, which makes the East seem especially scary, but it's also kind of daring your opponents, like, hey, like if you're gonna try and get to Tempai against me right now, you're either gonna deal in on the East, give me the East, and so that I am Tempai, or you're never gonna be able to make your hand work because I'm holding the tiles that you need.
Oh, absolutely. We have to find the other East, though, but so far, it doesn't look scary yet. Ooh. Oh, and there we go. There's Tempai, 5-pin East, but of course, only the East gives a Yaku, but what a Yaku it gives.
I'll be very curious to see what TJ does with the So tiles. The East, I think, might just be stuck in the hand at this point. I don't know exactly how defensive TJ tends to be. But So tiles coming out of TJ's hand might be a different story, although there was no hesitation on either the 7-so or the 4-so drop. So TJ might be reading that this isn't actually a half flush, even though the discards make it seem like it could be.
Oh, the discards yell half flush. One of the questions to you is that if you draw 4, 5, or 6 Mon, do you maybe try to shift for the Toy Toy to try to guarantee a Yaku here?
If we get a little bit later in the hand, yes. Just because I'm going to get to the point where I'm like, okay, people aren't discarding the East because they don't want to deal into a dealer Hanuman for some reason. Uh, and it is nice to have another way to win, but breaking apart a full shape is always such a chore.
Mm-hmm.
We've actually got 4 pairs in the hand to the right now. And it is a Tanyao hand for sure, but I mean, it's still 3 away. Unless we're going for 7 pairs, in which case it's 2 away. So Brendan kind of just hasn't had good draws.
Oh yeah, TJ looks very insistent on using this East. Has not seen it yet. I think at this point it might be glued to the hand. A con.
Ooh, a con flips the white dragon as the new Dora, which those have been discarded already, or at least 2 of them have.
No,
And that was a con on the 7-pin. That's not for Tempai. That's not for. I mean, it's not like we're in all last and Carly needs a lot of value. Would you have taken the con there on the 7-pin?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. This is just seeing if we can fish for some value. This almost says to me I'm a little bored with this hand. What else can it do? Like.
This hand does have, since we are open, there's a lot of. Oh,
Ooh.
that's a rough draw. Yeah. Discarding away from the Mon shape so that we
there's
can
the
pawn
last
the
East.
East and have the Toy.
There's the last East. Oh,
ポン
Yeah.
I also respect this from Brendan. Does not want to touch it either. And that is Tempai.
5-so, 8-so. This 8-so will deal in. Yeah, there was no way that 8-so wasn't coming out, especially with it being 100% safe to dealer.
Yep, that.
So paying that feels like a fair payment. 1,300 points to avoid a 12K hand by the dealer, I think is perfectly acceptable. And it could have been 18K had Pio ended up drawing either the 5-mon or the 6-mon.
Yep, that is it's one of those moments that you may not even realize how bad it could have been until you go back and check your logs, and it feels like watching yourself walk by a landmine without realizing it.
Which is something I think a lot of people need to do a little bit more of. I know I certainly do. After you play games like this, maybe not immediately after. If you do it immediately after, it's like you remember why you made all the decisions. But I kind of think of Mahjong games a little bit like writing essays, where like you might want to walk away from them for a week so that you're not biased, and then look over the log to see what you can learn from it.
Yep, I could definitely attest to that. I have actually just yesterday I was doing some log reviews, and I would explain some of my reasoning, go, this is what I probably did here, this, that, and the other. And I would then find myself asking myself, what are you doing? What was this move? And so it definitely, then you can think about, what was I thinking in that moment? Where was I mentally at the time? What's different between then and now?
チ
Oh, I was wondering if Pio was going to discard that green dragon. Pio has absolutely no use for it. There's no Sanshoku in there in that hand. There's no half flush. Like, it looks like Pio's going for Tanyao, and in which case, I feel like if you were going to do that, you should have discarded the green dragon already. Maybe Pio's fishing for a second green dragon, just really, really banking on drawing it.
Possibly. Also, by doing this, is absolutely denying the possibility of anybody else finding it. Could we see a shift here? No.
It does get us another 6, 7, 8. So that puts us, 4 tiles away, I guess, from like a 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku Dorotanki on the Hatsu.
What I'm really loving is over here from Carly is this absolute shift to the either like the Junchan or the Chanta. Boom. Oh, there it goes though. And that
And
is
4-pin,
Senpai.
7-pin is a nice little weight. We see 3 of the 4-pin, 2 of the 7-pin. That means there are 3 tiles left in the wall, 2 7s and 1 4.
Oh.
And there it is.
Brandon pulls it in. There's the big hand for the day. That's the first one. 12,000 for dealer, 4,000 all, and the repeat.
Yeah, it's East 3. We're just getting started.
Ooh.
The first of many big hands. All right, what's your plan? How are you building this hand?
I think I'd actually go 6-pin first. I don't think the red dragon's wrong. I think that's a pretty good like standard efficiency move. But I would almost throw Oh, interesting. Okay, we are committing to a very normal play here. I would maybe keep around all the character suit and then just maybe see what we draw around it. This is perfectly serviceable as like a kind of normal hand, maybe even a Tanyao hand, but especially with the Dora acceptance. But if the wall wants to gift us a flush, then we don't say no.
I think the two things that push me towards the same decision Brendan made is the fact that it was the 6 pin rather than the 2 pin. If it was a 2 pin in hand, I absolutely would have chucked it. But the 6 pin is a much stickier tile, especially since we have shapes around the six and the other two suits, so that could possibly become a Sanshoku later. And the fact that, as you already said, the 4/5 so accepts the Dora 3 so.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting here is we did actually reject the 7 mon, and that while that doesn't feel like a very useful tile to this, it kind of complicates things. It does lay out possibility for a lot of nice shapes. But there's nothing wrong with keeping what you already have. Like you've already got the Anko, the 4 mon, the 5/6/7 run. Like we're now one tile away from a perfectly serviceable hand.
We're actually perfect Ishan 10. Oh, no, we're not. I 2 pin. I take it back.
Well,
why not accept because the 6 pin's going to be more dangerous later than the 2 pin is. So why toss the 2 pin back?
Like there it's not going to ever triplet up. You could think about shifting, say, like right here for the Tanyao, and it looks like we're actually going to do that. Well, actually, no. It looks like we're just kind of shifting shapes here. Maybe we're thinking a Sanshoku, but we've already thrust to 7. I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of we're still Ishan 10. We're just kind of sliding it around a little bit.
And it's still the same Ryanman Ishan 10. So and there's the 4 pin. There's going to be our Tenpai waiting 3 so 6 so.
6 so
Reaching Nomi with potential.
All
wow,
the
you're
6
right.
is held, and all but one of the Sanzo is held. There's one 3 so in the wall. It is Dora. So
I mean, this is one of those times. The Sozu looks incredibly expensive. I mean, there's a single 1 so discard in dealer's discards, a single 1 so discard from TJ now, and then there's the last 3 so. I mean, the so tiles were totally eaten up, but that one tile left in the wall, Brendan gets it for 2 consecutive dealer Mongons. And we had, like, the first couple of hands here were very tame, very low value, avoiding things. And just like that, Brendan has cracked this wide open.
Oh, absolutely. Here is the runaway he might be looking for. Just says, you know what? He obviously had no impression of how held his weight was, and just drew the last one anyway. I need to make sure that he knows that after this game, because that was incredible.
Clip it and send it to him in his DMs.
Yep. All right, and off the...
Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and a pair for Carly for Kokoshi. It doesn't have to be Kokoshi, but
I think this is a great position to go from. We're down, but we're not down by much. The wall has given this to us. What else are we doing with this hand?
It's such a garbage hand. You do have a pair of red dragons. You do have a pair of 9 mon. The fact that we have 2 1/2s, maybe. Well, with a third 9 mon, we're gonna see the decision Carly makes. Yeah, it's just never gonna be a normal hand. And if we go for Chanta, it's gonna be way too slow. We're not gonna catch up with anybody else.
And especially with how the dealer's behaving, like I don't want to commit to anything I have to call here, because there's a very good chance I'm about to have to fold. Like, dropping 4 middle tiles and then Dora from Brendan, especially after the run he just had. There's definitely almost a mental thing happening there where you're already suspicious of it.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice one away for Brendan. TJ actually already Tenpai, just fishing for a better weight. And there's lots of ways to get that. The 7 pin is not it. Although I probably would keep the 7 pin over the 3 so just because there's ways we can extend our weight there. But,
Nope, can't.
the 3 so doesn't deal in because there's a 1 pin in hand. There we go. There's our Pinfu.
Pinfu was probably hoping for a Sanshoku upgrade there, which is possible. But
8 mon would have been a wonderful draw. Oh, and there's gonna be the chase.
I love
chase
this.
from dealer. This is 4 so 7 so. Ricci Pinfu Tanyao for dealer. Oh, and it's going to
Oh,
come out the Apatsu round from TJ. TJ calls the first Ricci, was so patient waiting for the pair, and then ends up dealing into another 12,000 points for Brendan. And the 2 Homba makes it 12,600. And just like that, TJ's in the negatives, and we're not even at East 4 yet.
good lord. 36,000 points have just been dragged in over the course of 3 hands.
That's just silly.
That. See, these are the runs where sometimes like it honestly it feels so much more rewarding to happen in this format. If this happens in a ladder game, like the game would be done. Like you'd be done. You'd be pretty happy with yourself, but like it's over. It doesn't count. You get the same amount of ranking points either way. But here, like even now, we're already happy with how this contributes to our season, and it can keep going.
ポン
All right, we have an early pawn from Pio, not altogether surprising. There's a lot of pin tiles in that hand. We have one of the green dragon. This is the kind of hand that I'm not surprised that Pio would decide to make a Honitsu. We do have an Anko now of the north in TJ's hand with a pair of the Haku there. And we just had the Hatsu pawn from Carly. Carly Ishanten. Nope, not, yes, Ishanten. There's a pair of 9-so in there.
Depending
We'd
on
really
the
like to pick up the 7 pin.
depending on the hands you draw in this situation, if you're any of these players, are you thinking, I need to get some value to catch up here, or are you thinking, let's get this guy out of the dealer seat?
If I'm thinking either of the two things, it's probably more going to be the latter, like just getting Brendan off dealership. But honestly, when anybody does this, once someone passes 60K, I just start ignoring them. Like they don't exist to me anymore because they're on a different planet. Like it's gonna take 3 dealer Mongons for me to catch up. The chances of that happening are very low. What I'm concerned now is making sure I'm in second. Like first place is way out there. I'll catch them if I happen to get really lucky, but I'm gonna focus on what's a lot more manageable, which is 1 Mongon gets me in second, 1 Mongon gets me over 30K. If I'm TJ, I am doing a lot more fishing.
Absolutely, and fishing he seems to be doing has a Dora pair and has a good setup to even be able to reach it. But they're wondering, where are the Dora? Oh, there it is. What are we thinking, Brendan?
Yeah, I mean, Brendan has absolutely no reason to discard this.
Oh,
Oh my god, it came out. That is the hubris of being in first. And so now TJ waiting 6 pin, 9 pin, a pretty solid weight. There's still 4 of those left in the wall, half 6s, half 9s, and gets the sumo. We love to see it. So
There we
TJ
go.
gets some of those points back in the positives.
well done, TJ. That's the thing, is that the game's still going to keep going, so you got to keep on playing. And
And when you get that Mongon, it's the momentum more than the points.
oh, absolutely. Between getting Brendan off the dealership, getting back into positive, you now have attainable goals between you and your competitors. You took a good chunk of that off the person who drained a lot of your points. So like you've even brought him at least a step down. There's still some work to do though. This dealer hand looks nice. Probably going to end up being some pin fu.
It's that 8-9-so shape. God, I hate Pinchan so much. And having a pair of Norths. Like this hand is like one step away. It smells nice. But then you take a bite and you're like, oh, they didn't salt this. That's how I feel about this dealer hand.
You want to hear my trick for getting those penchants to work in your favor? You know how
Yes,
every
please.
time you discard one of them, you end up drawing the fill right after? This is this is the perfect time. You have the 5-6 shape and the 8-9 shape. So if you discard the 8-9 shape, the wall's going to make fun of you by giving you the 7, but that's all right because you needed it anyway. So you've tricked the wall.
That's true.
See?
You have to
See?
There it is. Oh my god! You're a genius, Ty! This is brilliant! You've just totally broken Mahjong. This is the most delightful little trick I think I've ever heard of. And look at that, and now we're just filling all of these shapes.
See, now the wall doesn't know what to do. It's flustered. It wanted to make fun of you, but now you've made the fool of the wall.
think we're still 2 away. Yeah, tossing the Norths makes a lot of sense here. Both of the other ones already discarded. If we need to, we can open for just a quick Tanyao hand.
Yep, this hand's good because it can still accept more Doro. We're a little sad with like the 9 fill, but this does mean that the hand's now callable. This 8-so pair is perfectly fine to pull in. We do have a Ricci though. Ooh, that's
a
Ricci, Pinfu, Dora. Not quite Sanshoku, but it's close. But now a very scary hand out to play around here. Not a ton of info to go
It does
off
not seem like Carly is scared. Carly dropped double Musuji first round. That 6-pin could have dealt into 3-6 or 6-9, along with any single weights, but Carly was like, nah.
Nah, I'd win.
Just dropped it right in there. Brendan doesn't have the flow anymore. TJ took it.
Oh, there we go.
The 8-so's safe.
Gonna back off a little bit for now. We're still not out of this yet. Let's see.
I mean, Carly's still Ishanten. We draw. Our issue though is if we get to Tenpai drawing 5-mon or 8-mon, we are going to be Furitin. But Furitin for Ricci, Pinfu, Tanyao, Ipeko, Dora as dealer, which is a Furitin I think I take. I probably don't call Ricci this late in the hand, but
nah,
there's the 8-mon.
Yep. Yep, and doesn't even want to reach it. Just goes ahead and wants to just sit out. Honestly, the Tenpai payment here is the more important part, but ooh, that looks a little suspect. Nah. It's fine.
Yeah, it looks suspect, but I mean, the 8-so and the 2-so don't deal in, so that makes me feel like there's probably not as much Dora, like probably 1 Dora max in that hand. It does not like. Well, wait, hold on. If it was a Shanpon though, the 2-so and the 8-so wouldn't matter. As is, it's just going to be exhaustive. 1,500 for Carly and Brendan.
All right, and with that, with a bit of boldness, Carly gets to retain the dealership one more round and is rewarded with a decent little hand here. Ooh, interesting. Brendan elected not to pawn that first green dragon.
I don't like it when that call prompt comes up and I haven't fully had time to look at my hand yet, because I feel like any time I spend trying to make the decision to pawn because like I don't have the hand fully in my head yet is giving away my hand. So I kind of think I do the same thing Brendan does. If the tile comes out that I need to pawn in like the first 2 discards, I just kind of like auto like, oh no, because I don't want anybody really to know I have it if I'm not sure I even want to use it yet. We do have the Chun Pawn from Carly.
Yep. Carly's trying to see if she can find a way to use this door, and does at least find a connector. Very awkward use of it, but points are points, especially on this spread here, where we're really thinking about how we can navigate around second place. And ooh,
there's another Dora.
Patience is rewarded. So very nice.
Discarding the 2-so. And with the 4-so, 2-so discard, that doesn't really make it seem like you do have the Dora in your hand. It looks like you were just discarding a shape. We actually have TJ on the right once again, Tenpai, but staying Dama. This time, it is a winnable hand, so I'm not entirely sure whether TJ is doing this looking for a weight upgrade like he was last time, or if it's just, I can win this, so I'm going to wait. It was looking for, maybe not a weight upgrade, but a value upgrade, trying to make it Tanyao. We got rid of the 9-so, and there's a lot of tiles that make this Tenpai.
Oh, absolutely. I actually like this shift. It's definitely greedy, but like right now, greed is good.
There's Tenpai. I think we take this one.
This is good. It's live.
Wow, not even accepting the Tenpai. TJ, very, very choosy here. We have Pio calling Ricci waiting 5-pin, 8-pin.
Ooh, and that puts the pressure on. We did wait. We wanted to see if we could find an upgrade, but now we've got to reach a contend with while still trying to get that value back.
Haven't drawn anything dangerous, so TJ not being forced to make any hard decisions yet.
Each.
And nor has Carly. And now we have the three-sided weight. That 2-5-8 so is what all of this weighting was building towards. So that's Ricci, Pinfu, Tanyao, Ipeco. Very nice hand for TJ. Worth just a little bit more than the Ricci Pinfu from Pio.
Didn't even have to send anything too dangerous to make it happen, but that is also Tenpai. Oh! Carly got Tenpai just in time to watch the sumo. The Ipatsu.
And that's 6 Han.
Oh!
Just like that, TJ's back in this. Not only back in this, TJ's in second with the Baimon Sumo. A natural Hanuman. Well, was that the Ipatsu round? Ipatsu plus 2 Ura, taking the Mongon to a Baimon. Absolutely beautiful for TJ.
We are in store for some good Mahjong tonight. This has been absolute cinema. And we only just got to South Round.
And actually, a call out to the chat. Penguin Knight makes a good point. It is possible that TJ had Rian Peiko on the mind there with the 3-4-4-5 shape that TJ was holding in the hand. Rian Peiko was a possible improvement. So that's a good thing to point out that we missed.
Yes.
I still don't know that I would have waited as long as TJ did, and I obviously wouldn't have gotten the Baimon because of it. So props to TJ.
Yep, obviously we did not have the vision, so props well done, and congrats on getting back in, and we still have a whole half game left to go.
Oh, I can't believe that was only one round. That was only the East.
Starting out, it seems like we're slowing down just a little bit. Not a lot of callable hands on the table right here. Only Carly really has.
Yeah. And that 6-mon is such an important draw for Carly. Now, I mean, the 2-4 shape is better than the 1-2, but the 1-2 waits on Dora, and we can build a straight out of that. I feel like Carly's got a very good hand going, and oh, there it is. That 4-mon is perfect. Just the pay isn't being drawn by anybody. Like I said, though, there was one discarded the very first turn by TJ. And I like this. I like discarding the Forso and holding on to the Haku. The Haku isn't safe since it's totally live, but now that one has been discarded, Carly's going to have that safe tile around once people start to look dangerous. Because Carly's definitely going to want to push this.
It's often a hard decision to make from this point. And it's sometimes one that people miss is if you've got to have a floating tile in your hand, sometimes it feels like it doesn't matter which one it is, but it can, because you got to think at any moment someone could reach you. And what tiles do you want in your hand when someone does? And even if there were no other white dragons on the table, if someone were to reach you right now, I'd much rather have to throw that out than a Forso.
Oh, absolutely. Although we have seen Carly is not shy from that. If Carly likes her hand, she is going to push that Forso anyway. But that's where we see this is the wisdom, like, all right, I don't have to if I don't need to. She had to in the other situations. Doesn't have to now. That 7-pin is an interesting upgrade. We're going to discard the pair of 9-so from TJ's hand here. Try and hope that this becomes a Tanyao, maybe even 5-6-7 Sanshoku.
Yep, I see the Sanshoku more. We're going to hope for the Tanya. Ooh, another 7. That gives a lot of possibilities here.
Man, that's one of those brain-breaking ones. But the issue is there's so many upper pin tiles already on the table. I think I would have just tossed the 7-pin back.
In this
like we have a 6-pin. We see 2 other 6-pin. We see almost all the 9-pin.
And Carly holding onto this Haku also is now rewarded with a half flush as well, starting to discard the 7s. Huge upgrade. Does not even have to take the straight if she doesn't want to.
And there we go. We're one call away from a half flush with either Dora 1 or there's going to be at least one Yakuhai. Ishan 10 for TJ on the 5-6-7 Chi.
Each.
Ooh, but we have a Ricci that is going to be Ricci Pinfu Dora across the way. Perfect Dora fill for Brendan. And it's now the prevalent threat on the board.
5-so safe. And we did see Carly held on to the 3-pin that she drew in the Ipatsu round and discarded the 1-mon instead. Because Carly, that 1-mon was never really going to be the pair. There's a chance that you pawn it. Oh, wait, no. Both of the one... No, the other... There was only one other 1-mon. No, both the 1-mon were gone. So you're never going to pawn it. it's not going to be your pair either because you have the Yaku High. So I like discarding the 1 mon and holding on to the 3 pin. It's another one of those. We're going to wait to discard this until we have to. And now we have to. So that is Honitsu, Haku, Straight, Dora for Carly. I wasn't counting while I said all those. Were you?
Yeah. I was not. I'm also, but I am looking. That weight, unfortunately for Carly, is completely held, and not from anybody who's ever going to give them up. One person can't.
Oh boy. What exactly was TJ waiting on? The pin tiles just like lit up. 2 pin, 5 pin was already. Was it just 4-7? It had to be more than that, right? It felt like a weird pair thing might have been going on with TJ's hand.
It's gone now, so I didn't get quite a chance to look at it. Someone in the chat, please enlighten us if you were able to catch that, or go back and clip it.
We always need more clips when it comes to like the halfway through the year when we want to make a show, or at the end of the year when we're doing highlights. It's always then that we realize, oh no, we didn't save any of the pretty stuff that we saw on stream. So if you see a hand you like or hear just someone say something funny, please clip it. We are always looking for those at the end of the season. I really like TJ's hand here. Like as dealer, we were talking earlier when we're dealer, we just want to get to the next hand. We want to repeat, and that is exactly what this is. I would even pawn the 9 pin. We can't be Atazuke. This is my favorite kind of hand where I'm guaranteed to have a Yaku no matter what happens.
No. Interestingly, though, both sides of both the South and the Red Dragon, we only see one of them. So we gotta wonder where they are at. But yeah, this is a perfect dealer hand. Like honestly, like I take one of these every time. Sure, it's not too expensive, but you get the extra expense of the stick in the middle, the repeat. That like you take this every day of the week. There we go. Ooh, interesting.
Ooh, I would have dropped 8 pin personally.
Boom.
Because now we're not Tenpai.
What do we want to drop here? Ooh, interesting. Might be looking for the 2-5 shape for the for our pair now. I definitely would have kept the 9 pair, of course. It's now we'd be just be Tenpai, but we can. This is still a decent position to be in.
Yeah, I still feel like TJ's a little ahead here. Pio's also 1 away, but Pio's going to end up on. Pio's not guaranteed to have a great weight. Pio really wants to draw the 5 mon. That's kind of the ideal for Pio. TJ thinking about that 3-so doesn't take it. We still wouldn't have been Tenpai after the Chi.
No, it's one of those cheese that it looks like it helps, but then you look at the shapes that you have left over, and you just get sad. It's one of those things. Sometimes it could be hard to read in the moment, but just because you're still looking for upgrades does not mean you should just take whatever. You really need to think about where your pair is here.
The pin are just absolutely punishing TJ. They're like, this is the opposite. The wall is now doing the ridiculing. And we did have an Ipeco upgrade for Pio, waiting 3-so, 6-so. That's Richi Tanyao possible Ipeco. We actually see 3 of the 3-so and 3 of the 6-so. So only 2 tiles left in the wall for Pio. And this is Tenpai for TJ. You just have to push 7-pin, which we see 3 of the 6-pin. I think we see all 4 6-pin. The 7-pin was a pretty pushable tile.
Yep. The Alexis send the 2-so.
Dom.
And it passes because all the 7-pin were held, though, which was a rough place to be in. But it's just Richitanyo, so a small deal in and move on. We are now on to Pio's dealership.
And Pio, and once again, we have dealers starting with the Yakuhai. And actually, Pio has 4 pairs here. These first couple of draws are going to determine a lot about what this hand becomes. Is this going to be a Toy Toy? Or is this just going to be a quick 1 Han with Haku? Is it going to be Chi Toy? And there's the Toy Toy, just taking the 1 mon as soon as it comes out.
This is always a tough one, especially with these inside tile pairs. Of course, the shapes are good enough, though. We might get lucky and not have to take the Toy Toy route completely. If we can set up the Haku, we can just call this down as is.
What's gonna get in our way though is that Carly's hand is so good. We've already got the pawn of 5-so, which That's really where we want to take our early pawns if we can. If we get the choice, we want to call those middle tiles early that people aren't going to want to discard later. And Carly also has a pair of Wests that she can call, has an Onko of the Tune, and that really nice 7/8 Ryamen. Does not have enough shapes yet, but we can get there. And there it is! Gets the Hatsu.
And that Hatsu's
So
going to come out as soon as Pio finds Senpai.
Oh, absolutely.
Unless
I don't think it comes out before then.
Say, unless Pio.
Ooh. Toy switch for Carly. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just got so excited.
No, that's perfect. That is the full greed here from Carly, looking to do the same thing the TJ did. Needs to pull in some points. It's starting to get a little late. Are we gonna see a con? Yes.
That is the second time she's done it tonight, and the 9-so flips as Dora, and it would have completed her 7/8/9 shape had she not kept the 3-so pair. But I think it's a pretty normal decision to accept the toy here, especially when we're not relying on it. And there's the Tenpai, so now we have not dueling toys, but dueling Tenpais. 3-so Sha for Carly, and 2-pin 5-mon for Pio. And then we have the 4-so discard from TJ. Luckily, the 3-sos are only pair in hand. So TJ made the right coin flip decision there.
TJ unknowingly just dodged a monster there. And probably just picked it a little arbitrarily, but no!
That's the double run because TJ was waiting 2-mon 5-mon. So there's the 1-han Tanyao into TJ and the 1-han Haku into Pio. So all said and done, it's only 2,500 points. It's not a massive deal in, but you've somehow managed to deal into 100% of your direct competition when you had the best hand at the table, which is kind of unfortunate.
It's more about how that felt than the number of points that went across that. That is rough. That was a great hand. We're going to have to see if we can find some value here to make up for that. It does look like she's got a good hand to start this out, though. Like this, I would not count her out at all yet.
And that's the Sha. Yeah, I figured she would take that.
And a decent hand for dealer, though, unless we can maybe get a little bit of calls in on the Sanshoku route. I don't know if this hand's going to outpace.
Yeah, it's just such a slow hand. Although we've seen plenty of... I mean, there was a hand... there was the hand earlier where dealer was dealt like one away, had 2 callable tiles, and just never even got Tenpai. So these things happen.
Yep.
And just awkward draws for Brendan. I don't know exactly how I would have played Brendan's hand either. There's all these conchants that you're having to choose between. I do tend, if I have something like the 3-so 5-so there, I probably would have discarded 9-mon because I like to have tiles in every suit to make it easier to Mawashi later in the hand, but that's probably a little bit too defensive thinking for me. I probably should get out of that, but it is something that always lives in my mind.
No, absolutely. Especially with a hand that's this kind of awkward. It almost feels like a little undershaped, possibly. Like you just don't know what direction to take it. We have Chi.
Makes Carly Ishanten.
Yep.
A good draw for Pio.
Could accept more Dora, but also is willing to just take West Dora 1 here, I think, just to get things moving.
Each.
Oh,
we're going to have a Ricci waiting on the 7-pin. And now we have 3-pin, 6-pin as our wait for Carly. The 7-pin, do we see any? Is the 7-pin totally live? It is. All 4 7-pins still in the wall for Brendan. Which is, I would not expect that. If I was looking at these discard pools, I would not at all expect 7-pin to be totally live. And there's the 3-pin sumo right after Pio and Ricci waiting on it with 2 Dora. So Carly with the sumo there, not only getting some points and getting a Ricci stick to boot, but also cutting off Pio, who had a pretty dangerous hand as dealer.
Oh, absolutely. And was able to pick up some extra sticks as a result. Looking to get back into position now, and she will be last dealer. So right now, almost South 3 is also a very important round for everybody because we're looking at what position we're going to be in going into all last.
So here's a question for you. When you're in South 3, do you think about getting to where you want to end the game, or just getting closer to where you want to end the game. So, like, for example, Pio is 5,200 points behind TJ. You can aim for 5,200 point hands. That's a pretty common point value for a hand. But if you had a really quick 1 or 2 Han hand, would you take that so that a 1 or 2 Han hand next time might get you where you need? Or do you push to make this hand the 5,200 that you need?
I think it really depends on where I'm currently sitting. If it's a second versus first thing, I think I'm willing to try to do it over the course of 2 hands. Close the gap on one and then finish it out on the other. Ooh.
Oh, but sometimes you just got paid Tonki for Chitoi Dora too, and you don't even have to think about it.
Oh, lordy.
It's Tarichi every day of the week. The only issue is Brendan has 2 of them. So the only way Brendan's going to end up dealing into this is if Brendan ends up shifting to a Tanya or some sort of normal hand, which might happen right here. Yep, that's it. Oh.
Chitoi Dora 2. No Ura, but Mongon is big here. That shifts everything. So now that puts Pio in second. Not a huge gap here though, and oh my goodness. TJ, what is that?
That is a half flush minimum. And continuing to draw so tiles. It's the issue is the East and the North are both guest wins. Like, that hand looks absolutely disgusting. But, I mean, it's not even... Hold on. TJ needs 2,800? I mean, is that... We have to get all of those... I think we'd have to get the Chun as well. Do we need one of them to be an Anko for this to even be enough to overtake Pio?
No, direct is fine. Obviously, direct is almost anything with this hand. I think so. Let's see. Honitsu only. Ooh. Yeah, I think we need the. I think we're gonna need that Chun.
Yeah, we gotta have the Chun.
Yep.
So you gotta make sure you have auto win off for these situations.
Kaiser Claus in the chat said any Chun win is good. Yes, absolutely.
Any Chun win is good.
Yep, Chun. Seeing a Chun would probably bring TJ's heart rate down significantly because right now you're thinking like you're close, but where is it? Oh, speaking of
Dora pawn from Brendan.
That's scary. Brendan is just looking to say, like, is looking to be scary. Like, Brendan has really nothing to lose and a decent bit to gain here. There's nothing wrong with pulling in a little more value here at the end, but
now TJ has what he needs. The 3-so 6-so is so held. Once again, TJ waiting on something that's like almost totally robbed from the wall. I think there's like 2 tiles left, 1 3-so and 1 6-so.
Yep, and Brendan headless Ishanten, probably for Tanya Dora 3. A Mongon could ruin anybody's day here.
And Carly really didn't have that bad of a hand, but that 3-so is just like waiting to deal in. And there it is.
There it is. And that...
Yeah, incredibly unfortunate. It just didn't fit, and you're in last, you're the final dealer. I mean, that 3-so is going to come out. As dangerous as it looked.
And Brendan pulls it in plus 40. So a huge contribution to his score. TJ coming in second and 0.2, stealing second place. Pio taking a 6.3. And Carly, after a very impressive run, has to take the fourth here at negative 33.
And remember, TJ was negative in East 3. Like, TJ was in the negative points. Like, not negative in, like, final score, but had negative 1,100 points in East 3 and got all the way back up to 29-8. I think TJ's total amount of winnings is greater than Brendan's was, even though Brendan came in first, because TJ dropped all the way below 0 and won his way back up. Whereas Brendan dealt in a couple times, but basically did 36,000 points of winning all at once. And then just kind of sat on it and redistributed those points a little bit.
No, absolutely. That was honestly, that is probably one of the happiest someone's ever been to take a negative point two.
Oh,
That's
for
very
sure.
impressive run. Well done, all players there. We're gonna see who's up next. I do know that this table is planning on playing three tonight. But let's see what Tenho has in store for us because it does seem to be loading.
Yep,
Uh,
there's another B1 table going on that started about 17 minutes ago, so we'd be entering 12 minutes into the game. But they've already started. We just have to wait a few minutes. I feel like hanging around with the B3 table might be a good move here. Actually, just 2 minutes. It started at 7:52, so we should be able to watch it about
yeah.
7:57.
After that first run, I'm now invested. I feel like I can't switch the channel now. Like I saw the pilot for the show, and I'm hooked. Like if this next round is half of as exciting as the last one was, we are in for a treat.
Yeah, that was just so bonkers. And then everybody here actually in a really good position as far as the league goes. I mean, Pio and Carly, of course, are currently in promotion range. Not that you're thinking too much about that this early in the season. We still have, 3 quarters of it to go, but it still feels good to be up there. TJ in the positives, and being in the positives is kind of the first goal, especially once you get down to B3 and below because of hiatuses and people not being able to play and like extra promotions, extra demon. Like there's a lot of incentive to just be positive once you're at like B3 or any of the C leagues because this plus 15.5 at the end of the season could still promote. We're obviously very far away from there, but it's not a bad place to be in. And Brendan is only at minus 28.4. That first did a ton to get Brendan back to a much more comfortable spot. Minus 28 feels so much better than minus 68.
No, absolutely, and that's the thing to remember early in the season is you have 24 games to see a lot of movement, and that cuts both ways. Like, don't like it. It can be easy to get a little comfortable if you're in like Pio or Carly's position to say, "Look at all these points I have." Like I can kind of sit back. It's like no, because your opponents will not be sitting back, because then people like Also, you got people like Brendan who say, "I'm down a little bit, but I've got a lot of season to go." Like a lot can change. Uh, a lot of times the end of a season will look not too dissimilar from how the scores do now. So it's not like people just go really, really high or really, really low. Like there's a lot of games of the season and a lot can happen. So you never want to rest on where you're at or conversely resign to where you're at.
No, absolutely. You have to play Monotone all the way through. I mean, we have seen people in session 6 in those final 4 games go from minus 100 to promoting. Like we've seen people take first Yakuman and just totally steal the show and they weren't anywhere close. So it's very important to just like if you keep fighting, the wall at some point has got to give you something. And Carly now, after that last place, has an absolutely gorgeous dealer high pie to start this game.
Oh, absolutely. We are Ishan 10 already. It looks like a lot of pairs, but it's kind of not. It's just enough for a hand like this because then all you have to do is pawn the currently absent white dragon, and then you have a pretty nice double pair weight going with the eights. I don't think we change a thing about this hand.
I would be curious to see what Carly does drawing, say, 5 pin or 7 pin, though.
There is definitely an argument for that, especially as we get a little later in the hand on what to do there, because that's always a tough choice. Because at some point during this process, you're really starting to wonder where is my like Yaku High? Where is my white dragon? And you might think it's being held. It's currently not, but you start to think that. And so, and Tanya obviously has a lot more available tiles, the all simples. But speaking of, though, looking across the way, Pio is looking to just play fast and aggressive here. Pawns the Dora right off the bat. Still has some work to do on the hand, but that doesn't feel so bad when you have Dora 3 in the pocket.
Oh, no, because you're by making that call, you are slowing everybody else's hands down. Like everybody is gonna have to think a little bit more. Like every time you Tadashi, people are like, was that the discard to Tenpai? Like that 5-pin discard. Like here is where I would start like I might start folding. Like especially if I was say Brendan in this position where my hand's pretty far away, it doesn't have any value. Like I would have done the similar discard. The 2-mon wasn't really helping the hand that much, but it being 100% safe to PO, I think would be the influence here. 9 I would also expect to see come out from Brendan. Like this is a spooky hand to be playing against.
Oh yeah, and especially also now looking is that there's been a throw of the 3-so. I also really love the aggression behind that 7. You broke by taunting the 7, so you broke up one of your shapes.
G.
But now you're Tenpai back on that shape. Makes it a little harder to win, but you're now Tenpai before everybody else. And with a hand
no
like
tiles
this, you'll
in the
take
wall.
It.
The 4-so and 7-so are all either on the table or held.
Boom.
And everybody can use them. Now we have the 8-mon 8-so Tenpai that we were expecting from Carly on like turn 3.
We might very well see Carly take this because one of those 8-mons is in PO's discards, and so it looks very good. And if this 5-mon's thrown, it's going to look even better.
Absolutely. Because now it essentially looks safe to both of them.
What do we think, Brendan? Are we still going to advance this hand, or do we want nothing to do with this? Even these Wests.
Ooh.
These Wests are completely live. We don't like these.
Yeah, because PO is the West player. Like, PO absolutely could have been going Ontozuke, banking on getting the West at some point.
Yep. But actually,
very good point.
The holder of the West tiles is TJ, who is honestly just holding on to him as a pair. Ooh, that's a good shift right there. And you kind of told a little bit about what your weight is with that 5. You're at least telling what it could be, but you now have a live weight. Oh.
Oh! The 8-so, though, just like you said, Carly ends up taking it. More tiles left in the wall for longer, benefiting Carly there. So instead of seeing a Mongon win in East 1, we're getting a dealer repeat in just 1,500. Although that's how it started last time, and things got pretty crazy pretty quick. So you can't get comfortable.
Absolutely, and that's also really good, Carly. Honestly, it's good to shut hands like that down. And that's one thing that's always a tough decision to make is whenever you see that open Dora pawn in a hand, but your hand's not bad. Is it like what's worth more to you, like risking them sumo or trying to shut it down and risking the run? Like that's always a tough decision to make.
And I think that's something that you see a lot, especially as you get into the upper leagues. Like, there's this middle ground where people will, maybe not a middle ground. At the very beginning, people just push everything all the time, no matter how dangerous everything looks. And then there's this middle ground where like you recognize danger and you fold to it. But then there's like the one step past that that's like really murky and really hard to navigate where like the A1 and A2 players often will live, where it's like you see something really dangerous and you're pushing your one hand not because you're like crazy aggressive or because you're not worried about their hand, but because the quickest way for you to prevent them from winning is to win yourself. And like finding that balance is, I think, one of the steps you have to take to get from like an intermediate Mahjong player to a very advanced Mahjong player.
Yep, and there will be trial and error in that journey, and definitely emphasis on some error, but that's just kind of part of the game. Ooh, a nice. I don't know if how much we think about Sanshoku before, but now that we've drawn this 9-mon for Carly, ooh, and the con, we now have a 2-mon Dora as well, and that. Oh my god! Now TJ's hand is looking a lot nicer.
If I'm TJ, I am now in the mindset that I'm opening ASAP. I actually wouldn't have discarded that 3-pin for that reason. I really like the ability to pawn the 3-pin, even though one has already been cut, just because like I've got 2 Dora, I can make this a Tanya. I'm gonna like accelerate as much as I can as TJ. We do have Brendan already Tenpai with that 1 chi waiting on the 3-so. That would be Honitsu, Dora 1, straight, which would be a Mangan.
Yep. Trying to counter that though. And what is interesting though, that is a no overflow flush as well.
When
So
you see a two call flush, one of the calls is closed, which makes it a little weird. But in my opinion, after two calls, honors are overflow. That is how I look at flushes that way. After
Yeet.
I see only two calls, even honors become overflow. You can't get too complacent about that. Although Carly is still just kind of going after it, even after TJ's reaching, now waiting 1 pin, 4 pin.
Sumo.
It gets the Apatsumo!
On the high end too, that's Tanya as well. Dora 3, Earl
Oh
1,
my God!
Paimon. There's
Another Paimon from TJ. That's twice I've been like, I don't know that I would have done what TJ's done. And TJ has a Patsumo to Paimon both times I've said that. Like, TJ absolutely killing out here.
we're inviting TJ after the stream for some notes exchanging. Apparently, Tucker and I have some things to learn because your method's clearly, you know what you're after. All right.
Much less exciting hands around the table on this one. The Tuso is the Dora. There's only two held in hand. Neither of them connected to everything. And several honors and terminals people are having to get rid of. A much slower hand than we're used to seeing at this particular table.
Absolutely. I think this could have the potential to start speeding up. It's one of those things where everybody's going to clean out the mess. It's these hands that just all of a sudden, it'll probably be even towards the end of row 2, where just all of a sudden people either start calling or there's reaches. It's like the table just come to life. But we're going to have to wait for that. It does look like Pio's really hoping for the Sanshoku here. Has the shapes for it, but they're all a little awkward. Across the way, though, I see a good Pinfu hand building, also possibly Sanshoku, the 5-6-7.
Yeah, TJ has brought in several consecutive really important draws, filling in good shapes, creating better complex shapes. TJ's hand was looking really rough 3 tiles ago, and 3 draws have completely changed the outlook there. And now we have the pair of whites for Brendan.
I could see this hand getting called down rather quickly for something cheap just to move on. Let's see. Oh, especially with that. I want more pairs. There we go. Yep. I like that. There, you keep more. Now, it's one of those things you generally hear is a pretty standard thing, is keeping more pairs in the hand is sometimes bad. But when you're thinking about calling a hand, the more pairs you have can be a good thing because, of course, you can take it from more people.
And I also think people are really negative on pairs, but I think it's also important to remember that the further away you are from Tempai, having more pairs isn't necessarily wrong. Like perfect Ishanten at Ishanten, perfect Ishanten has 2 pairs in it. So like if you're 2 away, having 3 pairs or 4 pairs isn't too bonkers of a thing. And now we have the Itsu Tempai for Carly waiting on the Tuso. So waiting on that Dora, which has to come out of TJ's hand unless it becomes a pair or we draw, say, a 1-so or 3-so to make it useful. So TJ could be in trouble with that 2-so. It's going to be hard to discard it with those 2 cheese and then the 4-so drop. It really makes the 2-so look suspect. You got to think that 2-so's dealing in. Pio can use it because Pio's just going for Chichoi now. Or Sunanko or Suanko. I forgot the name of the Yakuman one for the second. Pio could still get Suanko.
Yep. This is sometimes an awkward place to end up in, is that you keep the door because you're like something's going to connect to it, and then people start calling, and you will find that people love to call hands for love to call hands down to wait on Dora. You should absolutely suspect stuff like this, and especially given that Carly's hand even looks like a flush. It's not, but there's something about that definitely makes me think there's a lot of Sozu tiles in the hand.
Brendan Atazuke now waiting on the Haku cannot win if the 4-pin comes out.
Has already taken one of the 4 pins, so that's one element of Furitin gone. And it can't be at least permanently a Furitin because the other one's held by TJ. Oh. Ooh. Nope, just goes ahead, turns that into Anko. Uh-oh. How do we feel about this tile?
4
Oh,
Brendan does end up discarding it. Brendan's played very carefully the rest of the time. I wonder if Brendan wasn't dealer, whether he still would have discarded that tile.
yeah, that's a tough one. And thankfully for Brendan, though, that was not a bad deal. It's 2K. Like that's especially where the table currently sits. It's not the end of the world. We still have a lot of game to go and another dealership.
We are in East 3. Pio has the double tone in hand.
But will it outspeed? We might see the double tone pawn here. This is a nice fast hand for Pio. I really like this hand.
5-pin discard from Brendan. Wants to force the Chanta?
This, I think, tracks a little bit. Brendan from the Kansas City club, which shares a Discord with my club down in Arkansas, we are avid fans of Chanta down here. We root for it, and I don't know sometimes where they're like memes sometimes blends into play, but I definitely definitely respect the route here. We're looking for some value out of this hand, and we are finding it. We are.
I also really like Chanta. I feel like Chanta has a bad rap. However, the one time I really don't want to go for Chanta is when I am to the left of dealer. Because if dealer clocks that, right? If Pio clocks, Pio sees the 4-pin discard, sees the 4-mon discard, sees the 5-pin discard, it's going to start spinning to Pio. All of these simple tiles are coming out, and Pio might be able to change his hand and accelerate because of it. In this case, it doesn't really affect anything. Pio is just going to Otozuke the whole time, going for the double tone. But, you know, when you're playing against players who are really watching your discards, you have to be careful what you're showing them. Like, if you show Honitsu too early, you're telling the person to your right, hey, I'm going to be discarding a lot of the other two suits. And there's the tone for Pio. So now Tenpai waiting 6-mon, 9-mon, 2 of which are being held in Brendan's hand. Do not expect the 9-mon to come out at all from Brendan.
I got so excited for a moment. That looks like Doko, Sanshoku Doko, triplets, but the 9-so is dead. My heart is broken.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Boom. Still works as a pair, though. We are Tenpai. It is now just Toy. It's a half-dead Toy, but a Toy nonetheless. And, ooh, interesting.
And it was enough to scare Pio out of discarding the 6-pin. That was perfect timing. Perfect timing for Brendan.
Yeah.
Without that 3-mon pawn, I think Pio might just discard the 6-pin. Actually, the 9-mon's going to deal in.
Yeah, also did not like the other discards with the Dora, so, like, that works out very well. We are on to East 4. TJ, back in the hot seat. What are we doing on this round?
Starting off the hand, filling in a very nice Kanchan. Only have 4 shapes, so need 1 more to make the hand here, and there it is. Not particularly exciting, but when you're discarding an 8-pin on turn 2, and that was like kind of, you know, we still have the East in hand, but only the 1. Like, this is a good dealer high pie. This is a nice place to start. We actually have the Hatsu pawn from Brendan.
Absolutely. That looks like it could be a nice fast hand. Not a ton of value, but it doesn't. But being in second is not necessarily needing to greed very much. Still a lot of game to go. And speaking of value, I don't think I see any Dora. I don't think we do.
Absolutely none. We see all of the 3-so. Nah, there's still 1 3-so left in the wall, but the 2-so eerily absent.
No. Absolutely, and people are even they're shaping their hands around it as well. But as if to be found, and at least so far, they could still draw it. Oh, and this might be it. This might be Toy for Brendan. Is going to go ahead and float it, especially with the East once dropped. You might as well kill it now.
Brendan has already turned 1 hand that definitely did not start as Toy into a Toy, and now we have the Ricci waiting 4-so, 7-so from Carly. That is Ricci Pinfu.
solid hand to get the ball rolling. And that's the thing, is now everybody's got to play around this. We don't think it's Pinzu, but you can't count out a couple of them yet. Oh, and there's the first Dora draw.
Sumo.
But too little too late. Sumo as well. Ichi Sumo Pinfu. No Ura, so nice pickup. And I believe not quite second place, but right on the heels going into the South round.
Yeah, second, third, and fourth have been right around each other this whole time, really kind of trading spots. But TJ is not far enough ahead to be untouchable, especially with an entire South round still to play. Pio, of course, getting the non-pon, but only being like 11-7 over second place, that's really not very much at all, especially not with the kinds of hands we've been seeing people create at this table.
No, absolutely. It's and we've had some hands that are gonna have to go in some interesting directions here. I wonder if Brendan's gonna pick the flush here. It's definitely awkward, but like it's very callable.
Well, I mean, you have Carly, who's 1 away from Chitoy, but 2 away from Rion Peiko. Of course, Pio is already Tenpai waiting on the 7-mon. Cons to wait on 8-mon Pei. Doesn't flip any Dora for himself, but
flipped 2 for Carly. So Carly's probably now going to push into this pretty aggressively.
I mean, we can even palm the tune and drop 6-mon and be Tenpai waiting 3-pin. Kind of an artificial shift there for Pio, but I imagine TJ's going to deal into this before anything particularly exciting happens.
Oh,
yeah, there it is.
Yep, comes and goes. Just one.
Sorry, TJ. I didn't mean to draw you into that.
You'll be hearing from TJ's lawyers.
Listen, so far that's Tucker 1, TJ 2. And I think the 2 Baimon more than make up for that little dinky deal in.
Oh, pardon us, folks. Seems to be experiencing a little bit of technical difficulty. Tenho has been acting a little up a little today. So give me just a moment. We'll get back right into the game. I just need to reload here.
Someone put Tenho in timeout. Go think about what you did, Tenho.
No, it's in timeout now. We need it out of timeout. We need it to time in. It's on the clock.
Oh, shoot.
All right. Let's get back into the game.
Ricci?
Oh, turn 2 Ricci. Hold on.
Turn 2 Sun Min. Wait. It's turn 2 Sun Minchan
Oh!
Ricci. Ricci Sumo Pinfu no Ura. A Sun Minchan on turn 2 is just rude.
Could you not have waited until we came back on the stream? Come on.
We didn't get to see Brendan's second dealership at all. It just came and went.
Yep. There we go. Now we're back. Okay.
An incredibly tight game going into South 3 here. Anko of Hatsu for TJ on the right has a single white and a single tune. One of each already being discarded. Probably no Dragon Dreams here.
No, and it's always hands like that I always debate back and forth what to do with them, because of course with having a concealed triplet of a dragon, you can call it. You can call it any day of the week, but you don't have to. That's also just value you can pocket on a Ricci. Like, I think sometimes people think that almost like default to some amount of aggression whenever they have that concealed like Yakuhai, and that is a beautiful pickup for Carly. That is Ricci.
Just another row 1 Ricci, yeah.
And that is waiting on 2 5-so. Do you ever see if you can? You ever discard 3 4-so there to go for the flush? It is early.
No,
Oh.
I don't personally. That would have advanced us there. We would have been. Would we have been Tenpai 1 2 3 3 3? Yeah, it'd have been a Champon weight 3-pin 4-pin. If we had done that, but no, we already have 2 Han. Call Ricci for the 3rd, Sumo for a Mangan. With the hands being as tight as they are now, the tempo that you lose futzing around trying to make it a Honitsu. Like, we see that it would have been Tenpai for Honitsu on the next draw, but it would have been a worse weight as well. So there's no guarantee, even if we had waited around, that we would have won it. Having the better weight earlier, forcing people to play around us, forcing people to maybe like drop a 6-mon that could be useful to their hand later because it's the only thing they have that they know is safe. There's a lot of value in that.
That's a very good point, and honestly, it's also just not a good idea to base your thoughts on that off of what you drew from the wall, because there is no telling what that could be.
Oh, absolutely. Here's Tenpai for Pio. I wouldn't be surprised to see Pio chase, but yeah, does not elect to. Discarding the pair of 8-pin really needs to use. Hey, Dorotanki. It's not coming out of any. Nobody's discarding Dora into this Ricci, I don't think. But being able to wait on it means you don't have to discard it either, which is very nice.
Oh, there we go.
TJ was Ishanten on that deal in, and that's actually going to switch first for the first time the whole game. TJ has been in first, I believe, since East 1 or 2, and going into all last is the first time TJ has been in second.
All right.
Carly does not have the kind of fast hand to just end things right after sealing first that you like to see, though. I think Pio probably has the fastest hand.
Possibly. It's going to be the fastest closed hand, but we're going to see how people are going to want to call these. Although, I don't...
Well, everybody's stuck with terminals. The only person who can open is Brendan, and Brendan does not have the value to open. Like, you really want to get above 30k. You could win a quick one Han hand just to secure your third, but I don't really see a reason to settle. Like, this could become a Peiko. It could become a Pinfu. Like, it could become 3-4-5 or 4-5-6 Sanshoku. Like, there's no reason to give up on this hand yet for Brendan. Brendan can still get the value to get over 30k, get second, possibly even a first, according to what draws come in.
Yep, for those who may not know, the way that the league works is that the amount of UMA, or the amount of points you get for placement, does shift based off of the number of players that are are above or below 30k points. So there's an incentive here, even if Brennan confirms a third place, to get over that 30k, because then that would at least shift it towards he's not losing any points because of placement. Not gaining any, but not losing any either.
And it does very much look like Brendan is building a Hanamon here. Like, this could very easily be... Ooh, that 5-pin is not what we wanted to see. Does still call the Ricci, but this is just Ricci Tanyao.
Yeah.
On a sumo, that's enough to get over 30k.
I almost wonder if you're going to take a shape like this, if you almost want to... keep it like not Ricci for maybe a moment, because I wonder if you could like con for a little bit of value. Like, is this a moment where you open con?
If our goal, if the only way to get value is by flipping more Dora, I think so. But the issue is in part because all of our tiles are between 3 and 6. Like, we have a single 6 in our hand, and everything else is either a 3, a 4, or a 5. Our chances at Ura are incredibly slim. Like, we are not going to be flipping Ura with this hand that Brendan has. And then we actually have a Tenpai on the left from Pio. Wait one turn, then the Ricci, Chitoi waiting 5-pin.
The completely held 5-pin. Oh, no.
Yeah.
But it is chasing an almost entirely held shape from... Brendan as well. This might go to draw.
And if it goes to draw, TJ... If you're TJ... but the 3-set's going to come out, so it's going to deal in.
I think that second to last one. Ricci Tanya, no Ura. Yeah, however...
But the Ricci stick!
The stick makes the difference, pushes him over 30k.
The second Ricci stick. Pio's second Ricci stick. So the second Ricci stick not only lost Pio 1,000 points for calling the Ricci, Pio then ended up dealing in, which lost the 2 Hanworth, the 2,600. And because that put Brendan over, because that 1,000 was what Brendan needed to get over, that dropped PO to be the only person below 30K, which is another 5,000 points lost. So PO really, I understand why PO reachied. The Reachy gets PO to the point where with the extra Reachy stick and being, the Reachy Chi toy, it is now very possible for PO himself to get over 30K, for PO to steal second. So that's why we make that chase. But the consequences are pretty dire here. I mean, minus 29.3, as far as lasts go, is pretty fine. Like, if my lasts are minus 29.3s, I'm okay with it. But just like the sheer amount of points PO lost on that, like, very kind of small decision there at the end is kind of incredible.
Oh, absolutely. We know why it happened. It just happened to be just the wrong tile. That those 5 pins just completely gone. And this will be a very nice pickup for Carly and TJ. And honestly, for Brendan, honestly, that .7, we're perfectly happy with that. Sometimes a game not played is worth putting on the board. And with
Yeah, when
that,
you're if you're making your thirds positive, that is a lot of points you're saving. Like Brendan's win, again, like in the same way that Pio lost way more than just the points that he dealt into Brendan, Brendan won way more than the points he took from Pio. The extra Reachy stick was a lot. And then the extra 5,000 for Brendan for not being beneath 30K. That plus 0.7 very easily could have been a -8.
oh, absolutely. And so it looks like here we're going to take a momentary break. We're probably going to swap out our commentators real quick and hop into a game. We got a couple games going, especially some that started not too long ago. So give us just a moment, and we will be right back.
Welcome back. Ty is stepping back for a second, gonna focus on the directing side of things. Don't forget to show Ty your love in the chat. We would not be able to do any of these
G.
casts without our wonderful broadcast directors, Ty included. And I am now joined by one of the more absurd people in
Boom.
all of the ARML. Welcome, Harrison. How are you doing today?
Boom.
I'm doing very splendid. If I had to give a word, very splendid. I couldn't think of another one. I tried to get a synonym in there, couldn't do it. Too much stuff going on the hand. We have dealer Dennis Tenpai on 7 mon. We got another Tenpai to the left. It looks like on just 6 mon. Ooh,
Not any.
now well,
Wait, to the
Ishan
left
10.
of who? Yeah, I was
Yes.
like, wait, wait,
I
wait.
was Kami-cha. Oh no, never mind. That's still not quite Tenpai. Very
Keeping
close
the
though.
7 mon as the pair, very good for Ian there. Gonna avoid the deal in for now.
Not going on. Everybody fishing Ishanten range with the 5 so that's a very good pickup. Going to be on 2 so 7 so.
Ooh, 6 pin, the new Dora after the con. Dennis now has
Okay, Dennis, what are we doing here?
Oh, and now we draw the 6 pin.
Dennis,
Just shoves
decent
it.
foo, 20 foo. Will be 40 foo with the 7. Or no, 50 foo. Yeah, so 2 on 50, 48.
That's a part of
Man's
cons
3 on
that
25.
I do feel like that's the part of cons a lot of people leave out. Like that extra foo you get is not insignificant.
Technically, yes, but like, okay, you get closed con terminal or honor and you get 32 foo. That's a haunt. I get that. Sold. Great. Love it. You do that for open con and you're like, a lot of the time I'm getting 40 foo. A lot of the time my hand's not winning or I'm staying on 40 foo and I don't really care. So I'm like, maybe not. Maybe not.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. Like there's not many people who con less than I do. But I still think it's important to like keep in mind the
yes,
math
definitely there. For EV Calc for considerations, like the foo is definitely significant. That being said, for a hand like Dennis in the pilot seat right now, doesn't really care about conning. Looking for a standard reach pin foo as dealer, hoping to fill in that 8 pin. Pilot in a couple extra points.
I hope Dennis draws all the rest of the 3 mon just to prove you wrong.
A 3 mon. I mean, what'll really happen is Dennis will get like 8 pin, have the most beautiful Ishanten, and sit there for the rest of the hand like that. As the DC way is.
That I feel like that's how my hands go too.
Well, you should be Ian, a DC player. That's what we all do.
If you're Ian, what are you making of that hand? There's a lot of gross shapes there, but there's also a lot to work with. It's getting a little late.
Mean, low key, it's just throwing tiles until I can justify Honitsu and the Sozu and like actual hand value, and it never gets there. And I'm just looking for somebody to Riichi so I can fold with like without guilt. Like it's a great hand that is absolutely terrible in my opinion.
We are going to have some issues, though. If someone else does get to reach, the only person Ian really has any defense against right now is Dennis. And after this 1 pin comes out, much less so now.
Yeah, I mean, there's other defense. Like, for instance, to Cliff, we have double 8 so and then a 9 so. Across, we have the Green Dragon and the 1s. Those should both be fine. Like, we definitely have defense. It's whether we have the Mawashi defense. Where I really think Ian doesn't have a lot towards anybody. Ian is kind of just playing the hand, trying to figure out, hey, can we get to Tenpai before anything scary happens? And then if something scary happens, oop, I'm gone. Out of here. Not pushing it.
Ooh, we have a Tenpai on the left for Yiching. That is 4 pins, 1 pin, but the 1 pin isn't actually a win, so it's only the 4 pin here.
Yeah, we'll probably see a 1 pin out from Cliff. Again, not going to win. Going to get past. Furry 10 is reset. It's going to be really interesting if someone like Dennis draws a 1 pin and drops it. That gives 2 extra drops to the table to have Yishang in Furry 10, which can definitely make a 4 pin more trapped in like a perfect manufacturer scenario. That being said, speaking of Ian, look at that. Riichi on just 4 so that just came out. That'll be Riichi Nomi, but definitely enough to get the table a bit startled. Cliff with 2. Can't imagine Cliff drops them though, right, Tucker? You think Cliff ever throws those out? Probably not.
No, I mean, Cliff themselves doesn't really have any value. We actually see Yi Ching with that Atazuke Tanyao, that no value hand, immediately started folding. Tossed the 8
Yeah.
pin and 7 pin without question the moment the Ricci happened. And we actually,
Yeah,
yeah,
said.
yeah, Yi Ching
I'll
completely deconstructing his hand.
Yeah,
This is
I'll box a
Tenpai for
little bit.
Dennis.
Second, I guess. No. Yes, it is Tenpai on the 6 pin.
Waiting on
Throws
6
2
pin.
so, checks that, passes. There's a lot of 3 so's, so it was 1 chance. Ends up
Although
being
we're
okay.
so late in the hand, 1 chance is meaningless when there's less than 10 tiles left on the wall. It makes you
Yeah,
feel
but
a little bit
again, it's
better.
K10.
It's moral. Yeah. You're fighting
It's
for
K10,
K10
so it's
here.
better than a random. Yeah, like you're still applying defensive theory. It's not very solid, but it's something. It's better
And
than just throwing a random tile on double Suji that's unchecked.
it's worth noting that the pay, which was the Dora, are completely gone. So you know
Yeah.
that any value that is in the hand is structural, not Dora. So it makes it a little bit easier to make that drop, I
Yeah,
think.
a lot of the time, much, much cheaper. Don't have to be too scared on anything that's coming out.
Now, when you're in Dennis's position, right, you're at 43.5,
Yep.
5, you're not super ahead, but you
Yep.
do have a bit of a cushion here. Are you gonna say, I have the points to lose, so I'm gonna push a little bit more? Or are you just kind of like still in 30K all brain at East 3 here?
In my opinion, how you're supposed to play is that you're supposed to say, I'm in first. I'm going to opt towards plays that I can fold back and be a little bit more defensive towards. Normally, that means playing a bit more into the hand, playing a bit more value close base. So that way, if something scary happens, you can fold out, be careful. That being said, also you're in 43K and you're a DC player and you're going, well, if I stay passive here, everybody else in the league is going to pass me because I never hit anything. So Dennis going to opt keep it aggressive, play that double east. Tuhan is great. Absolutely massive value. We're Ishan 10 now. That being said, a little bit of a clunky Ishan 10. We need East 7 so and 1 so. 2 out of 3 of those pairs to get tripled. And looking at the rest of the table, this might actually be a very big problem. 7 so and 1 so, both kind of desired for the rest of the table. Which, speaking of, we have Tenpai, we have
3 mon, 5
Entultu.
mon, 8 mon. Whew.
Yep. 2 8s out, so the good part of the weight, a little bit dead, but still other parts left to be seen. 5 mon dead, 8 mon, 1 left in the wall. Same for the 3. That being said, East called. Dennis, Tenpai 7 so West, or excuse me, not West, 1 so. Problem is 1 1, 1 7, both out. Where's the wall gonna find the last of them?
Ian, yeah, Ian discarding the 2 pin there. That's a very safe discard. And because if Ian decided to push this hand, Ian was going to deal into somebody.
Yeah,
Draws the 2 pin again. The wall being a temptress.
Dennis has a very brave decision to make there. Decides to throw 7 so, technically unchecked over that 6 so, but much wider weight. We're on 258. We see the 6 so Kabe, so we know that 8 so is going to be harder to use. 5 so, maybe even the same. Much wider than just waiting on the 1 so, 7 so.
And for those who are unfamiliar, a Kabe is when you can see all 4 of a tile on a table, which prevents 2-sided weights from certain tiles. So since we see all 4 6 so, it's impossible for anybody to be holding 5 6 waiting 4 7 because you can see all 4 6 so. So the 7 so becomes a little bit safer because of that. It also, of course, prevents a 6 so 8 so Kanchan weight on the 7 so.
For our linguistic fans, Kabe is wall, or I'm stupid, true 50-50. That'll help you remember it. That's how I always remember it. There's a wall that prevents you from hopping over the other side to wait on a double pair of weight, which is why it's so good defensively. Which, speaking of, I think Dennis is kind of never getting here. Yeah, and I don't think anyone else is. Luckily for Ian, decides to fold out and just draws every terrible dealing tile.
The final tile in the wall was an 8 so, which I think is kind of funny. Oh, Dennis! This dealership is wacky. Ishan right off the
Dennis.
jump.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately for Dennis, he's in my club, so he knows exactly as I say. Whenever this high pie comes up, this never wins. Tries to make the early call to go. Harrison says this never wins, so I want to make sure to play it right. Make sure to
The
go
5
as
pin
fast as possible. Collect those sticks in the middle, which, by the way, 2,900, meaningful value.
5
2.5
pin 8
on for
pin
free.
is of course the better weight here because there's 6 tiles. I do wonder though about dropping 5 pin and waiting 9 pin. It's so early in the hand that people are still. I mean, we could see lots of 9 so's and 9 mons coming out. Like this is the time of day where people are discarding their terminals. I would have been tempted to take the 9 pin weight there, and maybe even if I draw say an 8 pin, allow the kind of Nobaton upgrade for 6 pin 9 pin. It's something I would have considered.
Tucker, can I explain something to you? Tempai is good, right?
Yeah.
So we want to take it. So if we break Tempai,
We
we
would have
need
still
a
been
really good
Tempai.
reason.
We'd
No,
have
no,
still
no,
been
no, no.
Tempai.
But
Would have been
much,
Tempai waiting
much
on the
worse.
9 pin. What are you
It would
talking
have been
about?
3 tiles versus 6 tiles. Big difference, double, right?
Right,
you
but
know
we can change
you
our
know what's
weight on so
better
many
than
things. The
Tempai?
9 pin's much more likely to come out.
You know what's better than Tempai?
What's better than Tempai, Harrison?
Honitsu Tempai. So
Oh
if you want
God.
to be a crackhead, maybe we throw 9 so on that first turn. We got plenty of time to make it work. We got our Yaku supplied. Throw a 9 so, 7 so, maybe throw an 8 so later. We draw these beautiful Pinzu. We'd be Ishan 10 right now.
Cliff with a
Waiting.
great 5-mon draw.
Yeah. Very good.
Cliff now Ishanten.
Surely almost playing Chitoi with this East Tune. Both are still in the one in the wall for each, but also Yishang holding 2. Doesn't matter though. Throws the 5 pin.
Wow.
Tries to chase a little bit. 2K.
That was the
plus everything in the
natural.
middle.
Yiching with wait. Yeah, Cliff was in the position where Cliff had 3 pairs and 2 of them were Yakuhai.
No, 4 pairs, I believe. Unless I miscounted. I thought it was 4.
Cliff, whatever the case, Cliff elected to keep the Yakuhai pairs, discarded the pair of 5 pin, the less likely to get pawned, and a little unfortunate to deal in there.
Happens.
I would like to point out that the 9 pin came out a single tile earlier than the 5 pin did. Just, I just want to put that out there.
Honestly,
it came out the same round.
Truth nuke. Especially for DC players, we have to get everything dropped to us. We never sumo. So we need to play that metagame. Which, speaking of metagame, Yishang calling that early East. Not much value in the hand. Looking to end Dennis's dealer run. Try and keep their value closer to 30K.
If you squint really hard, you could see a 4-5-6 Sancho. If you squint real, never mind. Take it back.
Well, if you squint really hard and draw the perfect 8 tiles in a row, we can get to a 2. If we're going by that logic.
You know what? Yuji might as well go for Honitsu at this point.
Not when that 7 comes.
There's the Tempai waiting on 4-mon, 7-mon. 2 have already been discarded.
Yeah, not a lot, but it's something. I can't imagine 4 comes out here.
Yeah, that 4-5 shape is too solid.
Con gets thrown.
8 so is the new Dora. That gives 1 Dora to Cliff. It doesn't help anybody else. 2 of them have actually already been discarded.
Yeah, to me, this is actually kind of a scary spot as Yishang, because while the weight 4-7 is good, now if somebody reaches, those 2 Ura are much, much scarier than board value. You have that hard to use 9-mon. You also have that 8 so that's already twice out that you don't have. So Ricci is going to be very, very concerning.
That's why I probably don't con here. But the chance of red Sean, because you do have both.
East? What if you flip East and there's North in the Uradora or in the second Dora slot? Do you consider that, Tucker? What if you just luck sack? Easy peasy.
I mean, if all you're doing is trying to luck sack, you might as well just play through the game blindfolded. Like, really let the wall take control.
If we're metagaming, then I'm on your side. I'm in your camp. Dennis, decision here, and
Kanchan, Pinchan.
Yes, okay, 2-1.
I like the 2 so first. I
It
really
just
like
came
Dennis's
out.
tack here, discarding the 2-so first. It's 100% safe because it was the previously discarded tile, and the 1-so is more likely to be safe to everyone later on in the hand when it must be discarded. So I really like Dennis's choice there.
Yeah, without a Tanya route too, with the 7, 8, 9 and the 1, 2, 3 both locked in, it definitely makes sense. And we see that 1-so coming out there because 7-so is a little bit dangerous. So Dennis clearly opting to try and play defensive and stall for time. If we get Tempai, maybe we reach, do something crazy, get a little zany, but trying to buy time until somebody else basically deals in or wins before we have to make a committed decision.
Discards the
Hate that
safe
6
6-mon.
mon. Dennis, what are we doing? Dennis, throw one
I don't hate it
on.
for the record.
Throw one on.
I also
Hey,
prefer 1-mon, but I don't hate the 6
our
mon.
hands just brick though when we draw 6 mon. Like that's just a straight up fold. If we're getting away the 4, 6, 8 shape completely, we can cut it. Like if we cut 1 mon, we get the 6, 8 Kanchan and keep the 2, 3, 4. If we cut 6 mon,
も
like we're just folding. Which I don't think we need to do. That being said, 4 mon comes out.
It
140.
sumoed. Comes out from
Yeah,
the wall.
of course. The wall's a player too, in an abstract sense.
I mean, Ty proved that. Ty proved earlier that you can dupe the wall. So I'm more convinced than ever that the wall is sentient.
Listen, the wall hates me, which is why I
コン
know it loves other players, because that's how the law of equality works out, the law of alchemy.
I
Which
did I didn't realize that the Mahjong wall was a subscriber to Full Metal Alchemist
Fullmetal Alchemist
philosophy.
Brotherhood. I mean, it was popular for a reason. Clearly, there was something in there that we were supposed to take away.
A very nice dealer hand here for Ian, though.
Oh,
I
forget the dealer hand. We have a 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku almost guaranteed. And I actually, Dennis, I'm gonna have to kind of ream on him a little bit for that drop. The 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku no longer guaranteed with that 7-so drop. That being said, is the most efficient, but kind of going towards a reach Pinfu or a reach Tanya Nomi. The 2, 3, 4 definitely up in
1
the air, not guaranteed.
I really, again though, I like Dennis's decision here. We're already far in first. We're almost 20k up. The most efficient tiles to get Tempai, the quickest to win the hand before anyone else gets Tempai, is going to do Dennis a lot of good here. I would even
Dennis
consider
should take the
cheating the
6.
6-pin. Yep, and then you'd be Tempai on an Obaton. Doesn't take it though.
Tempai and a
Ooh, and then tosses
Nobaton.
the 3-so.
With Tempai and a Nobaton, guaranteed Tanyao, chance for Sanshoku. It's too good not to take.
But he passed it,
8 pin
and then
back, 8
also
pin
tossed
back.
back the 3-so, which got pawned by Yi Ching across the way, who is now Atazuke waiting on the Hatsu. The 5-mon will not be a win for Yi Ching. Atazuke, we've said it a few times, but haven't explained the term. Atazuke just means one of your weights wins, at least one weight wins, and at least one weight can't win because you don't have a valid Yaku. In this case, our Yaku is Hatsu, so the 5-mon is kind of worthless.
The red bean. I forget how that translates. That's a cook though. That's a funny bit. There's something, I swear to God, red bean, something close to Atazuke. What it is escapes me for the moment because Mahjong's too exciting. Also, at least one Hatsu in the dead wall, so I'm thinking Yixing is going to struggle to get this, especially with dealer reaching now on the board. We have Reach, Tanyao, Pinfu, possible Peiko on the 8-pin. This could be a very expensive hand. Dennis does get Tempai. Well, it still has Tempai. Decides to switch to
This
the
is
Shabo. 7-pin 5-so on
This is an
Tanyao
incredibly
Sanshoku.
live weight. There's still 5 tiles left in the wall for Ian. Which this late in the hand, there's one of them.
4 tiles.
1
Oh, and the Richie
off
comes
the
out. Yeah,
bat!
Dennis
Use
decides
the
if we're gonna push,
2-pin!
we're gonna do it
Use
on.
the
We're gonna Richie.
2-pin! But
Nah,
the
it's the Sanshoku. The
Sanshoku.
Sanshoku. It's so much less value.
It's that
If you're
time.
gonna play
Yeah.
that 5, it's like, you know what? If I'm playing this, I'm full pushing. I'll Richie. Deals into the cheap end too. Just reach Pinfu Tanyao. Sanshoku would have been Mangan, much more valuable. The 3 Han 30, we can afford that. Dennis is in the lead. Has a bit of, money to spend around, bit of points, throw around to the rest of the table.
I agree. I do think you do kind of have to push that, and you do have to throw the 5. I think you're
Well,
right.
you
I'm
don't
not.
have to push it, but if you're gonna push it, you should reach it. Because if you're pushing that, you're pushing anything, and it's like
Yeah, the
might as
5
well.
pin's kind of one of the worst tiles you could possibly see.
It's a
Ian, though,
really bad check.
another great hand for Ian.
Mm-hmm.
Still
Yeah,
2 away, but
yes, Rian Shanten. But does have the reach Pindafu
Home.
Tanyao route. Would
and
have to drop West, hit 5 perfectly with
wow.
1-5 and 3/8 out also. Ian's hand is looking much, much worse now.
Did you just clock that play from Cliff? Is Cliff forcing the Honitsu here? Pwned the
No, he's
tune
not
and dropped the
forcing.
5 so.
He's fishing the Honitsu.
If you are
difference.
dropping one of your crucial shapes and it is a Ryanman, I mean, I guess Doratanki, is that the idea? There's the 6 though. Like, is that the idea?
I guess, yeah, Doratanki on a non-Honitsu or fish towards the Honitsu. It definitely, with the green in the south early, it definitely feels a bit weird. I don't know if players are going to read that as Honitsu. We'll see here.
Yeah,
And
there's the
Tozu was good.
Doratanki.
And yep, full commit to the 9. It is safe against the dealer as well. Might come out from somebody later.
Dennis being that somebody in particular. Oh, no, never mind. The wall. Come out from the wall.
Yep. Yakuai Dora 2. Cliff.
That's a really big win for Cliff. That gets Cliff a non-dealer Mongon away from 30K, which is a really, it's not the best spot. Obviously, you want to be in first all the time, always. But
It's decent.
within a non-dealer Mongon of 30K is a good place to be.
Yeah. I mean, definitely where you want to end up. It makes it striking distance whenever you're more than a Mongon. I feel like you have to get a lot of help there. But within a Mongon, especially on any ROM, striking distance, we take those.
As it is, though, Cliff is the dealer, so a Mongon here would actually be just extra cream on top of everything. The 7 so an incredible draw here.
Yeah. Good feelings. Nobody else with that much speed. A lot of value. I call this potential round where everybody's hand is Mr. Potential Man. Can totally challenge a dealer if they draw 3 perfect tiles in a row. That being said, they got to get there. You got Yisheng on the right. Great shape. 4-5-6 Sanshoku. Not
Actually,
there.
also Ishanten for Chitoi Yiching is.
Oh.
That's 5 pairs.
I mean, Tanyao Chitoi, but with terrible end weights. Disgusting end weights currently at the moment.
Yeah, you're not a huge fan of it, but the fact that you're 1 away from it is what really makes it.
Yeah,
because you want this to be a
I
normal
almost
hand.
wonder what you do. 5 pin.
If I draw 5 pin, I'm dropping 4 pin. I love Chitoi. I'm a huge Chitoi stan. I think in Akanashi leagues like this one, that Chitoi is a lot more powerful than people give it credit for. However, if I draw 5 pin, I'm dropping 4 pin immediately.
I mean, luckily that decision hasn't been made yet. Nobody else really a lot of value in the hand yet. Dennis
there was
not hitting the draws. Ian,
like you said,
still building up.
A lot of potential at the very beginning and a lot of very good shapes right at the beginning, but nobody's drawing what they need. Right.
Yep.
Probably see a little bit of a slide here from Cliff, I imagine.
Could drop 1-2 Mon.
Ooh.
Fish the E2. That'd be an interesting play. Yeah, with 1-2 Mon being Dora. Could even throw like 7 Mon maybe to hedge a little bit, but just decides to throw 9 so.
Turn 3, I think there's a lot more to think about. Turn 9, the loss in efficiency is pretty brutal. I would actually I would have dropped 5 pin there and then dropped 7 Mon next turn around. Just because I'm
most efficient. Yeah.
Not even for efficiency, just because that 5 pin is getting dangerous. And there it is. Now it's going to deal in if it has to come out. Ishanten for Yiching.
Yep. As we have Dennis Tenpai on 2 pin, 5 pin, 8 so. For just Tanyao Dora, 2K. 7 so. Some thoughts for Ian. We could pawn this, drop West, and that is going to be the play. We will be relying on 6 pin to get our Tanyao for our Yaku, but something there. Bit of an
Another
idea. We said everybody's got some agency. Let's get in that. Dennis draws the Dora, drops the 8 so's. Okay, we're getting
Each.
crazy.
And oh man, the timing there for Dennis so brutal. That's right when Cliff got to Tenpai and was dropping the 5-pin, which really felt like it was just waiting to deal in. But since Dennis changed his hand for the 3-mon, which probably wasn't just offensive, there's probably some defensive considerations as well with both Ian and Yi Ching being open. You might not have wanted to discard the 3-mon into that. And now Dennis just taking the K10.
Yeah, for
K10
now,
being
I mean, yeah, K10 being Tenpai, just being Tenpai at draw, so you get a little bit of points. Problem is, a lot of action on this
Sumo.
board and a lot of scary draws. Ian, though, or excuse me, Cliff, gonna draw into the Dora Sumo 2K all. Approach that 30K, diffuse this board.
leap from last to second. And
Lot of
that's what we
value.
were talking about. That's that win that Cliff had the round before is why Cliff is in second now. I mean, obviously, also the win we just saw, but like making the pulling the margin just a little bit closer really, really paid off. What do we discard here if we're Cliff? Would you have also discarded the 7-mon?
It's just so efficient. It's so hard to justify. It's so hard to justify dropping anything else. Like, you could potentially, I think it's just the most efficient in general, I think, too. You could try and argue, like, Wes, but it's just so hard.
Yi Ching making a call to skip Cliff here.
Yeah. Also, just try and get some agency in the hands. Shape's not great. Maybe a 7, 8, 9 Sanchoku
Home.
in the faraway works. Just trying to win any amount of points. Shut Cliff down.
And there's 2 Dora across the way in Dennis's hand.
Yep. Dennis able to play back in the lead, fully closed, looking to just build some value, threaten the board later if desired.
Ishanten for Ian. Cliff really thought there before discarding that 3-pin. Does keep the 3-mon. And we actually see that the 6-mon is the winning tile for Ian. If Ian had drawn the other shape, the 3-mon would have dealt into Ian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that's kind of what we were looking
2-mon
for.
rewarded. Here's the hard part, though. What do you throw? 1 3-pin?
I would have tossed 5-pin. Yeah, well, we had the 1, 2, 3 Sanchoku possibility, which I think is why we threw the 9-pin instead of the 1-pin. I would have actually started with the 5-pin, I think, to be just a little bit more on the aggressive side and to work from the inside out. Now we are 1 away. We're keeping the Ryoncon, the 1, 3, 5 shape.
Even with 2 4s out, play efficiency. Why not? We also have a Tenpai to the right.
And there's the 2-pin.
On 2-pin 8, so that'll deal in Hakunomi. I mean, kind of luckily for Dennis, everybody's throwing pebbles at each other's foreheads. Not too worried about trying to really make a big move on the board. And Yishang's hand in the pilot seat, not the best either. Not a whole lot of value secured.
Well, I also feel like just nobody has really had all that much value to win. Like, the people with all the value have been stuck at 1 away. And now Dennis is the person with the half flush. And Dennis is the person who doesn't really need the value as much. Although the gap is much tighter now. I mean, a Mongon from dealer puts Yi Ching tied with Dennis for first.
Oh, easily. 100%. I mean, again, that's the nice part about being in first. You can play back in the hand, play a little bit slower. You're not as concerned about getting those quick points and shutting people down. So play your high value hands, try and fish for what you can get.
Does end up drawing the 3, 4, 5 shape in the pin. So it's not going to be a Honitsu, just a normal hand.
Well, it's not going to be a Honitsu at this current time. There's always a way to get there. Always a perfect scenario where you might justify dropping a whole complete shape.
You might do it. You would just be a little wild to do so. Ishanten across the way for Ian, although it's really hard to end up with a good weight there. Basically, we have to draw the 5, so the 5, so a lot of which are held.
I was gonna say
Mm.
another 6-0 could come out. We could cheat that and then do some craziness.
I
We're gonna
actually
throw the 9 immediately.
we took a
I think it's a
step
good play.
back, but I like it. I agree with you. I like the step back here. And now we have an incredibly wide Ishan-10.
Yeah.
That's
There
going to be worth
is
a
a
lot
little
more.
bit of free 10 in there, but still relatively good value. And that is Tempai
It's not
on
exactly the one we wanted.
6-5-2.
I almost wonder if we drop Forso and stay Dama for a second here.
1.
Might do that, but we'll take 6-5-2 mon. Is the weight good? No. Does it scare this 2-pin from Yisheng's hand? Absolutely, and that will cause Forso fold. So successfully pushed away dealer. Something to take home if you're Ian.
3 tiles left on the wall for Ian. Be interesting to see what Cliff does upon reaching Tempai. In a perfect world, Cliff is able to draw an Anko, discard that Forso, and take a shot at San Anko Dora 2. This 2-mon doesn't fit for Dennis at all, but I imagine... Oh, Dennis just shoving
I was
it!
going to say, no, the Sotogawa 3-mon I was about to bring up. It is really trapped, that 2-mon, and Dennis justifies it. 2,600 gone from Dennis. Not a lot, but again, these are starting to add up where Dennis was super far ahead in a very good spot. Now, all of a sudden, we are getting chipped away bit by bit by bit, and it is starting to be very close.
I will say, as Dennis there, if I were a Tempai, I'm a lot better about tossing the Sotogawa 2-mon. I don't like that drop, not Tempai. Just on a personal
what are
level.
the odds? What are the odds? Which that hand 100%, but other hand, pretty low. Pretty low.
Home.
As it is though, Dennis now having a little bit more to fight for. Like we can't just wait around now. Anybody can catch us at any time. Any Mongon Sumo from anyone puts us not in first anymore. Even if we aren't dealer. If this goes to exhaustive, nobody Tempai, and Ian's dealer next time, any Mongon Sumo puts us in second. We've gotta start making things happen. And Dennis has a very good hand for it, but the issue is Ian is going to take all these pawns that'll skip Dennis's turns. So if Ian's able to get those before Dennis can draw into these shapes, it's going to be really rough sledding.
I was also going to say a bit of an efficiency error on Dennis. We have that 6-pin. I believe 5-mon is the cut you're supposed to make. 5-mon or 5-so. We do see the immediate backfire, which might play a mental factor. Definitely going to make Dennis start sweating the hand a bit more than usual.
Another reason to keep that 6-pin would have been Dora acceptance.
Exactly.
I'm actually a little... Cliff could have called
5-so.
that 2-pin from Ian.
8-pin. Oh, not that.
I don't hate... I mean, that's
our...
our... Well, the 8-pin's twice cut already.
Yeah,
but the 2-pin also has something... Like, the 2-pin's twice cut. Like, the 1-3-pin, I think, is the worst shape in our hand.
Yeah, but at least if you draw 4, you have 3
complete.
pairs, though. You have 3 pairs, and you have the 2-3, 5-6-6. Like, I understand not dropping Sozu because of the Honitsu threat, but
right.
It's the 2-3, 5-6-6 is pretty inefficient. And then also you have 3 pairs with it. It's just
but
not
like
good.
You just said, you have Honitsu on your right. Like
yeah. So not dropping Sozu I get, but the 8-pins are they're so useless. 1 out, 2, and you already have 2 other pair candidates. It's so bad, so slow.
Although the 6-0 probably isn't going to become a pair if we're not discarding so tiles. We're probably expecting that 5-6-6 to turn into 2
in a hypothetical sense when we get all the way there, of course. We might.
It's a tough one to play around, though.
Yeah.
This is a really rough position that Dennis is in. I think now the 8-pin coming out. We're almost.
I mean, we can always win a cheap hand all last, secure our +20. Assuming this hand is cheap as well from whoever wins it.
I mean, it very well might not be. There's the Dora.
Home.
Are we going to see Cliff take this one? And we do. Cliff now Ishan-10 for Tanya Dora 3.
Wants to secure the value, lock stuff in. Forso, amazing hit. This should be 5 mon from Dennis.
Ooh, pushes the 8
Push the 8s. Be a little ambitious for a slightly wider Ishan 10 that is not that much wider because of what's on the board, but gonna take it. Tanya route 2 with the Manzu.
Oh, this green dragon looks rough. There's none anywhere.
Looks pretty
But
bad.
discards the Tuso. Discards the Tuso, which doesn't look
I mean,
good
3
either.
Forsos, 3 Forsos, a lot of ones. Oh, we're throwing a con.
Flipping
Okay.
a Sozu Dora. All of a sudden, Ian's
Tanya
hand
Dora
looking a
5.
lot worse.
Tiny Outdoor 5. We're showing Hanemon. Who cares? Floating 3, not going to get played. 4-so, this is wider. This can be 3-6-so.
Doesn't take it, though. The Forso is safe
Scared
to,
about
as
the
you said,
5,
the revealed
yeah.
Hanemon. So
Yeah,
I think discarding
scared.
Forso is totally reasonable there.
Oh, 3-mon not coming out. Yeah, Yusheng is super scared too. And like, again, can you blame any of these players? Like, open Hanemon is, ooh, a bit of a sweat.
Now, if the 3-so had been dropped, Ian would have just sumoed. But as it is,
Yeah.
God, and yeah, and Yuching just discarding the 9-so to end it.
It's so much. So many scary things on that hand.
Yeah, there was
So
a
many
lot to
horrors.
play around there. I feel like that's a good hand to play through. That's one of those hands where I feel like there's so many decisions to make and so much going on that there's not going to be a quote unquote right way to play it. But I think it's a very educational hand to look at and see all the factors to consider to learn from.
Especially when seeing how the rest of the board plays in response to things. Like, it's such a dynamic situation that changes by the turn that it really gives, I think, a lot of insight into how people play and interpret information that is being seen, which is
Mongon
really
Sumo.
good.
Oh, yes, 100%. And I know that that's something you in particular, like playing to your opponents is something that you talk about a lot. This board, though, everybody's a Mongon Sumo away from first. Everybody
and Dennis is just
here.
trying to just launch one Han, smooth sailing, single pebble, put it in the slingshot, send it off. If it
That's
hits
not
the
what the
target
wall
anywhere,
wants him
we're
to have,
good.
though.
Yeah, the wall's lining them up.
Here's the Mon tiles.
Oh,
Got it. There's another
yeah.
one.
We'll play the Penchon. I mean, Honitsu, good 2 Han open. We'll play Bakahan.
Listen, I
We're good
hate
with it.
Honitsu, but this is also a situation
You hate
where I do
and
take it. I
love
hate it.
Chitoy?
Yes, I
No
hate
wonder you
Honitsu, but
fell
this
down
is a
to
position I would take
B3.
it.
What the hell do you mean you hate Honitsu? That's like
That's
the fundamental hand. It's the Akanashi gasser. That's how you get half your points.
I still hate Honitsu, and I've climbed all the way back up from B3 to A2. I'm the most volatile player in ARML. Dang it! But at least I'm
gonna have to give a lecture to B1 and B2 players. I should not have let you do that as a Honitsu hater. I should have denied you.
That is, oh man, we're spending this wonderful last hand just beefing with each other.
I mean, no one's had any action yet. Everyone's still building up. Dennis building
Dennis
that Honitsu, debating on the call.
Action. Oh, Dennis control Hormone tiles.
Oh my god. I might pass. I might pass. I might pass.
Why?
Oh my god, and Dennis does. He sees it. It's so much more value to pass. Literally,
No, it's not. You're in first. You're in first. What value
but the Shinichu
matter?
has so many draws. The problem is Dennis
But
doesn't
you've
read this.
already won. Now someone else can win. This hand could have been over. You take your 2 Han, and no, it's not the same as. But you've already got the extra 5K from everyone else being below.
Tucker, you can be a settler. Dennis is a dreamer. I'm pretty sure, like, what's that band? Fleet Macwood had a whole album. I think Fleet Macwood had a whole album dedicated to being a dreamer. It was either that or Steely Dan, one of the two. And that's what Dennis is on. Dennis is on that hopium, and we're on 1-4 mod. And Cliff has a floating 4, and it looks bad. There's a lot of things that looks bad, and Dennis is going Lichi Chinitsu. Is Itsu part of the options? I don't think so, right? 79, 678. Oh, and the 4 comes out, and look at that. Gotten points, reached Shinizu, and hits the Ura for Baimon. Oh my goodness.
I'm
And
appalled.
here you were about to cheap the hand out, and now Dennis.
For the record, I'm also
two Uma points on that. 2 whole first place Umas. Got an additional first place Uma on that decision alone.
For the record, I'm also against Cliff discarding the 4-mon in that point spread. But Cliff is a 7.
You look at
Dennis's. About Cliff,
you look at Dennis's discards, and that does not look like Shinizu.
But 4-mon,
it looks a little weird.
It looks like Shinizu or not is irrelevant. The 4-mon
your Tempai
is a
for
horrible tile.
Your Tempai for plus 30k. It is a 8k swing minimum. That's good. That's a good swing. It's Mongon
It's a
Brewing.
lot. It is an 8k swing if you win it, or a -20 swing if you lose it.
If you deal into Shinizu,
Cliff,
you're not expecting to deal into Shinizu.
It didn't have to be Shinizu to lose that much. Like it's a huge loss, even if it's just a Mongon, which any Riichi can just be a Mongon with Ura. Cliff is 7 done. I can't say anything about Cliff's
Dora was not that good. I'm on Cliff's side.
It was a tough. That was another wild hand. But I'm
on Cliff's side.
I hate that Shinizu won so much. That Shinizu deserved to be punished. I hate it.
Shinizu's good. Just sticking one suit in the hand and not caring about anything else is great.
Oh man.
Okay, next game. There's a lot of them. We have a lot of decisions.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening right now.
A lot of B1 action, some B2 action.
There's B1, B2, and B3 all starting at essentially the same time. We can stick with this table, or we can jump to a different one. Personally, I'm kind of a fan of, if we do one game at a table, I like doing 2. I like the continuity of
this.
That
is a really fun table too. It's a very strong, interesting table, which it's also hard to say because there's a B2 table, or excuse me, another B1 table with Steven, Mohan, Jesse, and Noel. Jesse, who's a big up-and-comer, 2 WRC attendees, and Mohan, who has been a strong player normal for a while. So it's hard. There's a lot of great Mahjong on Wednesday. Who'd have thought? What a crazy idea that there's a lot of strong Armal and just Rigi Mahjong on Wednesdays. Never happened before, surely.
I do wonder to some extent if because Wednesday's right in the middle of the week, are more people just free on Wednesday, or are people in the back of their heads like, there's 2 options. I want to do Wednesday in case I get cast out.
I get on stream. That's what I used to think, and then I looked at my schedules, and I can tell you, A1 avoids Wednesdays like the plague from my from my session. So I'm like, clearly, it just happens to be convenient. We happen to get there.
Yeah, Wednesday is definitely like the most convenient day in the week for me. But I assume we are going to be going back into the B1 table. But wow, that was a lot. I think after all that, I'm like so overstimulated. That was just so much. But props to Dennis. Dennis won the Shinizu there. It paid off big time. And now Dennis being at the -25.7, taking Dennis all the way from, was kind of in demotion range there, but is now more in the middle of the pack. There's still work to do for Dennis, Cliff, and Ian, but all 3 of those players are good players. Now, everybody at B1's a good player. B1 is nasty this year. But it's much better to be on the middle or upper side of things. All of these players can get out of this muck. Yi Ching, actually, is very interesting here, has 0 firsts and 0 lasts through 7 games. 5 seconds and 2 thirds. I kind of assume some of those seconds are negative. Plus 18.4 seems a little low for 5 seconds and 2/3. Maybe like one really big negative third, and everything else was more normal. But some interesting stats nonetheless.
No, and hopping back in for a second to apologize. We are experiencing a little bit of difficulty with Tenho right now. It is having a little bit of trouble loading the next game to watch. But in the meantime, yes, B1 has been, as someone playing it has been eventful. A lot of ups and downs. I personally actually was top at the top of the league, at the respectable plus 118, and I thought, wow, like this is probably like probably gonna top this out this early, and then Anya and Kate just were like, nah, what is that? 8 games plus 118? That's nothing. Let me just add at least 20 to 30 points to that, and then we'll see.
And the player right beneath you is Kenyon, who is a former league champion. So
Kenyon is one of the like absolute goats of the league too. I'm pretty sure Kenyon won like not back-to-back seasons, but 2 seasons in a year. I think she's one of the like 2 people who have done that. Kenyon just such a strong player, and again, another WRC attendee, just absolutely undeniable, great player,
Very
just so good.
Yep. Absolutely. I like so glad that y'all are really setting the stage for this, considering that Kenyon's actually in my next games next week.
I mean, I would say good luck, but brother, you're in B1. Like, this is what it is. Like when I was climbing the ranks and I was in B1, I was like, oh, there's a lot of good players, but feel within my skill level. Nowadays, B1, I'm like, oh, okay. Like a year ago, this could have been an A1 league, and everyone would have been like, yeah, that's fair. Like it's only getting harder. It's only getting more tough, but that's the fun part about Armel. Every league or every season you show up and you go, oh, okay, things are getting more and more difficult. Freebies are getting harder and harder to come by.
Oh, absolutely. And actually, we are back. At least I was able to get it back. I'm
Ooh.
gonna. It looks like Tucker stepped away for a moment, so I'll at least help lead us in here. But we are going to hop back into this B1 table.
Same one as last round.
Yep.
Right.
It doesn't look like we've missed much. Looks like the first East round went to draw.
Well, get us in there. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Such a fun table. So many good stats. And yeah, it looks like a draw. Dennis has to fold out. Does not take Tenpai. We open up on Yisheng, being dealer with a pretty good high pie, all things considered. That being said, Cliff has that South Yaku high pair with 2 Dora, could easily sway the table, really make a bold statement in this East one. And then even across Ian, a very good fundamental reachy hand, good chance for a double-sided weight. And Dennis just slow on the draw, does not have the speed to compete.
if you're Cliff here, how much are you considering Atazuke?
Oh, on Southwind and East 2, like so much. If I call 7mon, that's the weird one. Called 7mon gets a little bit funky because then people are like, okay, he has a ton of value. Like, I want to really be vigilant on it. But anything else, I'm like, oh, yeah, of course.
And here's a
And
chance.
this 7,
Cliff
8,
could
9
be
is tough.
Tenpai. And does take it. Takes the Atazuke
Does
Tenpai
take.
waiting on the South.
South Dora 2, I mean, it's 3 Han, but it feels a little cheap and it's very obvious. Whenever you do that 7, 8, 9, it's like, oh, there's clearly we need to fish a Yaku. And especially with the early 5mon, you give away Honitsu's dead. So it's, by process of elimination, what do I have left? And there is something to be said about, people have to fold on the South, and Cliff draws it as well, but it's a scary spot to put it in. That being said, Cliff, that experience, that Ho-Oh experience pays off. We draw the South, collect our 3 Han and go, advance the game.
Yeah, that's I like the Otozuke there. Even though, like you said, it is obvious, it's the fact that nobody else can use the South. If the
Exactly, yeah.
South itself were the Dora, I think it'd be a little bit. I mean, I'd probably still do it, but it'd be a little
Easier to
bit harder
justify.
because other people would also be holding on to it. But nobody can use the South except for Cliff. So I
Exactly.
like the Otozuke.
It's the same thing why Honitsu is so good a lot of the time. Even if it's obvious, you're forcing people to completely keep certain tiles, which is can just absolutely destroy hands, can just completely fundamentally change how a hand is played, which is so important for a lot of
Now,
hands.
now by people, that mostly means the person to your left. That's the one issue with Honitsu. Not
1、
necessarily just the one, but like the person on your left has to make a lot of hard decisions. The other two players, until you start to look dangerous, can be a little bit more free with it.
Listen, after
1、
one call, theory says you're pretty dangerous, and after two calls, you're definitely dangerous. So I'm saying a lot of the time, by the time people know you're Honitsu, time's already passed. You're scary, and some people are going to fold to it.
I do like Yi Ching here taking these calls. It is just going to be a one Han hand, but there's no Otozuke here. Either the pay or the Haku will be the value, or will be the what's it called? The Yaku. That's what it is. And now we can even
That is
palm
true.
the 8-pin from
Fundamental word.
anybody.
We're gonna open on the 79 Shoku. We need 9-pin. None seen. 2 across for Dennis, who's playing a very close hand.
Now
Ooh,
3.
3 across. Cliff is looking rough. Ugh.
A very calculated decision, though. I think
Yeah.
you noticing that there's no 9-pin out, that's probably why Cliff felt
Each.
okay taking that chi. And now we have the Richi from Dennis waiting 147 Mon. A very nice Richi Nomi.
Yeah, very strong. We'll see if Cliff folds here. Could justify 8 so, 9 so. Both of those look pretty safe. Justify the 7 later. Gonna keep the Ishan 10. Decides with the EV calc, the 6 Mon half Suji. Worth it to check. Apin coming out. It looks like Yishang gonna fold out a bit in the hand.
Con.
Ian
There's
not
a
getting too
con.
much. Ooh, +1 Han. We revealed North. Not gonna do it.
Yeah, and
2
Yi Ching
Mon
had
with
already started
Yosenpai.
discarding those, so.
Oh, we're gonna throw 7.
Each.
Looks like Cliff's playing for K10 and a Ricci snapback. We are on
Riso
3 so.
Tonki for
Sumo.
Ian, and it Potsumo's it? Oh my
Don't clip
goodness!
it. Don't clip it. Cut the tapes. Cut the tapes.
Oh,
Cut the
and
tapes.
an
Cut the
Ura!
tapes. Cut the tapes. Don't 3-so Tonki Ipatsumo Ura. Cut the tapes.
Oh
We can't have
my,
this.
wow.
They're propagandists. They can't take this. We can't give them another win. Shut it
Oh
off. Shut it
man.
off.
I mean, there's been like at least
Shut
4
it
clips
off.
tonight, I think. Like this has been a very lively night of
Shut it
Mahjong.
off. Not
We,
just not on the 3, so that's all I ask. Do it
we
on a
see
different tile. Why does it always happen on the 3, man?
this
How
hand
do we
should be
get
a
here?
quick one. There's 3 pairs of Yakuhai around the table. We do see Cliff neglecting to take the first pay. Doesn't want it. The rest of the hand is not very good at all. Very slow. Now that there's a Ryanman in hand, I'm curious whether Cliff would take the second. But Dennis has the pair of East, and then Yiching across the way has the Haku. Ian has one of each. So as Ian's hand improves, expect to see those start to get pawned.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see how it goes, especially with Ian being dealer.
Home.
Really expecting those to come out. We're going to see second North pawned by Cliff. Decides he needs to take it. Not too committed on full pushing the hand, but a good idea. Would just be North Dora 1. Still waiting on how to play it.
God, Cliff's hand is just so busted. It's such a bad hand. And the 7-pin,
It's
you
chop.
don't. Okay, this
Chop
is
dunk, for sure.
this is another thing. So there's no pair in this hand. There's a lot of bad shapes. The 7-pin comes out of Yiching's hand now twice. We see Cliff pass it twice. The 5-6-pin is the best shape in the hand. Often you don't. If you only have one good shape in the hand, you don't really want to call it because you can kind of expect to draw into
Well,
it.
the random tile, yeah,
Gee.
suggests you're supposed to upgrade more. So theory says you're supposed to pass it. That is
I
a truth nuke.
I'm guessing that you dislike the pass the way you said that.
It your hand's so to be quite frank and a bit crass. Your hand is so ass. What else are you gonna do? Like you're passing that. It's a second 7-pin. It's like, how do I even get to Tenpai past this? It's getting late in the round. Like Dealer Richi's here. I'm scared. I'm shaking. I'm twitching like a small dog that's cold, and I have to like do something about it. Whereas if I take it, it's like, you know what? At least I'm playing Tenpai a bit more. Like, at least I'm really fishing for it.
Now, this 7-mon's
Should
a
just be
very
7
interesting
back.
draw.
Oh,
Discards the
okay,
4-mon.
4-mon. Okay, sure. So
Could
that's a
now,
potential Suji on 1-mon later.
yeah, yeah. The
If anyone really cares.
The Dora I think is part of what's being played to here. If
Exactly.
another
Yeah.
4 or now if a 4 or 7 comes out of Yi Ching's hand, we're absolutely taking it because that's the Tenpai draw. Like there's
Oh,
nothing
yeah,
better. But when we were 3
for
away,
sure. Yeah, a little bit more thought to
1
go. And we'll
and
just
there we go.
shoot
And
this for a
now,
2-mon.
yeah, Dora. Although with the 2-mon drop, I mean, it's almost guaranteed we're waiting
4
on
into 2,
Dora.
it's a little weird. It's like,
It's 3, so that's Tenpai.
1
1-mon 8-pin wait for Ian.
8-pin looks a little weird. You see 3 7s, 2 6, or 2 7s, 2 6s. May see 1
7-mon
floating. Ooh.
7-mon 5 so for Yi Ching.
I mean, 8-pin's fully in the hand and a 1-mon. Actually, still 1 in the wall. Someone could draw it.
Yi Ching taking 6-mon 9-mon for a 10 weight now.
Ooh,
Switched because
4-pin
the
for Tenpai. Could justify 3-mon. It is Suji post Richi, but could play in the Dora Penchon. Little scary.
4
Oh, but the 8-pin's gonna be the one that comes out.
The 1 chance on the 7. Reach Dora 2. No Ura, but with 40 Fu, 7,700. Ian collecting. And oh my goodness, what a hand this is. Standard efficiency south, but man, this is looking like a fine Rishidora from the dealer. Although, oh my god, across, what does Yisheng have? We got
could play
Haku,
towards
Anko?
Tanya.
I mean, could play, but so we're not playing fast. We don't have to do it. That being said, across, you look at Yisheng's hand. My goodness. If I'm going to throw West here, we'll even throw 5-mon, fish in the Honitsu a little bit more. 246 Yaman, great Sozu shape. Haku Anko, goodness. Oh, but Ian with that 3-mon
Yeet.
Kanchan fill. Beautiful. Not as good as Dennis. Tenpai on 3-6-mon. Reach Pinfu.
On turn 3. All of these hands are fast. Ian and Yi Ching both Ishan 10.
Oh, fold out though. Yisheng's out.
Yi Ching's done that a lot.
To him. Yep,
I
playing
mean,
nice and defensive.
Anytime Yi Ching's had a 1-han hand, that even if it was Tenpai, Yi Ching's immediately folded the moment someone scarier has come around.
Yep. A double green, stuff to think about. Can we push anything? Who knows? We are going to play green. Cliff, just opting towards defense above all else.
Well, but I mean, Cliff is still Ishanten, so it's not like Cliff is making like a big move away from pursuing
Cliff's,
this hand.
Ryanchan. Definitely
No,
on
Cliff,
that green pair cut.
Oh, I'm looking at Ian. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I was looking at Ian's hand. I was looking at Ian discarding the 8-pin.
Yeah. Ian definitely still trying to keep some agency.
There's the
Tenpai. We're
Tenpai.
going to see Tenpai. Could Dama 9-pin. It's just straight up going to reach you on 4-mon 3.
Wait, why would you Dama?
You have a lot of upgrades on the Mansu and the Sozu.
A lot of the Sozu upgrades involve you discarding Dora, which you're not going to want to do.
Yeah, but it's turn
3-mon would have been really nice to keep. Oh, the 2 Ura on the 1-pin.
Dennis, Cotton 4K, unhonest. Didn't earn your placement for this game. And minus points at the end of the league. Ooh.
Just like that, going into South 1, everybody's tied. Everybody's tied now going into South 1. All even.
I almost spit on my water. What is this hand from Dennis? Goodness gracious. Reach Pinfu Peiko chance. Turn 3? What are we doing? Maybe not anymore with the 1-sos, but we draw like 6-0. We fill that immediately. Very strong hand, and the only person I'm seeing who can really compete with it is Cliff across. Cliff also a good Ryanshan. Or
Ian,
Ryanshan
Ian,
still.
Ian could speed up with a North
With the
call.
North, but has to overextend, has to play the 5-7 so as a Kanchan with Dora, which is very, very weak. And with Ian being a bit more defensive, I would imagine is going to struggle to it. And the 7-8, perfect. We're going to drop the ones. Ishanten, Dennis still looking to make a statement in dealer with a Rich Pinfu Ipeiko chance. One of the 4s out. 1's out, don't need it. Can't hit the con. We know one of those is in another hand, so we didn't lose out on +1 Han.
Both
2
Cliff and Ian
freaking pairs.
Ishanten now.
Yep.
And there's
Oh, and
Tenpai
that's
for
Tenpai.
Dennis.
Yeah, I'm gonna slam it. 4-7. It's so good. His dealer, scare the rest of the board. Everyone's like, why the hell did we drop 3 1-sos in a row? What are we doing? Six 0 4-pin inbound. Dennis misses Tanya by 2 turns. 5-so, very scary with the 3 1-pins or 1-sos. Could opt to play 2-so, check a little bit, check the Dora Suji, but odds are if 2-so deals in, should be cheaper. Ian wants some action, wants to say, you know what, Dennis? Not going to let you walk all over me. I'll take Tenpai, 5-8 mon.
5-8
Let's
on a
scrap.
very held weight. And now Cliff calling Ricci, waiting 2-pin, 5-pin. The 2-pin, 5-pin also, God, a lot of these tiles are being held. I mean, currently Dennis only waiting on 1 tile left in the wall, I think. And then Ian with the 5-8 mon has 3 tiles left in the wall. Cliff waiting 2-pin, 5-pin has 3 tiles left in the wall. So these are all pretty even.
It's close. It's real close. If the players knew these numbers, it would be too close for comfort. But
oh, the con from Cliff.
Okay.
Flips
West
the West is the
revealed.
new Dora. That helps nobody.
Nothing up, but for the Ura, that is strong. And especially with the con, you get the straight up Dora, or basically the +1 Han from it. With
So
the
does
32
Dealer.
close foo.
Well, Dealer doesn't get the foo, but Dealer does get the other Ura.
Dealer gets the Ura, but Cliff gets the foo.
And there it is!
Oh, the Sumo!
There's
the Ipeiko! The Pinfu Sumo, Ipeiko, and Ura
Both from the second indicator. Both from the second indicator. So that's only a Mongon. If without Cliff's con, that's only was that Pinfu? Because it wouldn't have even been a Mongon.
Sumo,
So,
Ipeiko. It would
not even a Mongon. So that
Dennis,
con.
you're fraud. You're farming Ura. Dennis, what happened to your honest value?
Well, but Cliff is the one that gave Dennis the Ura there. Like that wasn't that wasn't
Dennis
just
took
Dennis
advantage
getting
of
Ura.
it.
That was
It's about the
giving
ends,
it to
not
him.
the means. It's about the ends, not the means, okay?
And now Dennis, once again, a sizable distance away from everybody else in South 1. I swear to God, if this ends in another wild Chinitsu hand, I'm out. I'm just quitting.
Maybe. I mean, a lot of time left in the game. Nothing too much happening so far.
I don't mind Cliff's hand. I've seen better, but like this is an okay spot to be in at the end of row 1.
If I'm being honest, it kind of looks like everybody's playing a fairly standard normal theory hand, a reach Pinfu, maybe a reach Dora. Nothing too crazy, nothing zany.
Ian with a lot of shapes. All of Ian's shapes that could be pairs don't want to be pairs right now. So that's a little bit of an issue for Ian. The 6-7-8 Sanshoku is really what you'd like to draw into here, but that would mean your 2-3 pin needs to become your pair somehow.
Ooh, but across Cliff finds the Tenpai. It's going to be reach Dora. Waiting on 2-so. That's already twice out.
Cliff's waiting on 7 mon.
Oh, 7 mon. Yep. Good call. Good call. 7 Mon, none out. That being said, still a terrible weight. IMO.
I
Two
do
still on the wall.
wonder. This is it's one of those things, right, where you're holding all the Formon,
Yeah.
so it kind of creates this feeling, this
That
kind of
4-7's really bad as the game goes on.
yeah.
Yeah, it is an interesting thing to factor in, like that very minute percentage
Ooh.
chance change just on the factor holding the form on. So odds are, or you're pretty much never getting one drop post Ricci to
Yi
help that 7 Monsuji.
Yi Ching kind of working towards a straight here.
Hmm.
But just God, it's just so many tiles that have to be pushed. But there's not a lot of safe tiles in hand anyway. So Yi Ching kind of being forced into pushing this. There's Tempai.
Tempai, we can fight. We have a couple options
We've
too, I'd
discarded the 8
imagine.
so already. Oh, but it's just gonna deal in on the 7 mon instead. That almost
Didn't
felt
like
like a
5
run out of
so.
time. Ura.
Oh, getting some news. Getting some news from New York. Yishang quote, and I do want to reiterate this quote says game lagged on 7M, was clicking 3M but didn't go through. So
Oh, that
Yishang
sucks.
misclicked, meant to fold out, dealt in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say
According to the
it
post
looked
analysis.
strange.
According to the post analysis.
I mean,
So
the 7 mon looked.
we'll
The
let
7 mon is
everybody at
not a
home
natural
decide.
drop there. That like the 7 mon's not natural. Like my
It
assumption was like a timeout or something, but like
Yeah,
that
7
makes
there are some
sense.
definitely aggressive drops. 7 Mon does not feel like one of them.
No, because I mean, 7 mon was a tip by tile. You need that tile in your hand.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Cliff though,
Oh
with
my
a very
god.
nice hand here to just call and go.
Jesus. Yeah. Ricci Chun from the looks of it. Most likely hand.
I mean, probably just Chun. Dennis. It's according to how
If it
long
goes
Dennis
open.
holds this. It's according to how long Dennis holds this Chun over here. Dennis, who
I
could
mean,
get
it'll come out
789
now.
Sanshoku. It's coming out right now. Yeah, there it is.
Boom.
Dennis
Oh,
now
it gets snap
Ishanten
called.
from the Sanshoku Dora 1, while Cliff is already tip by winning 4 mon, 7 mon.
Yep. Very interesting. Cliff decides, you know what? I'm above 30K. I want to keep everybody down. We're just going to play nice, efficient, close, cheap wins. Make sure we get our points up. Nobody else gets a big jump. So I have to
Now,
fight
if
a
you're
bit more
Cliff,
later.
if you're Cliff and you draw the 9 so, do you con it?
Now I'm gonna spread some knowledge, some ancestral knowledge on you. If
Okay.
you close con a terminal, what's the realistic value from it? Say it for me. Say it for me.
The 32 Fu? Is that
Plus one
oh
Han.
there's
Plus one Han.
yeah. There's the 4
Plus
mon
one
deal in.
Han. So absolutely, before Mon comes out, before we even make that decision, we'll take one Han, 40 Fu. Easy peasy. Cliff staying above 30K. Has a bit of a buffer. Can afford 4 Han Sumo, or excuse me, 3 Han Sumo. As it stands, and still be above 30K. Although Cliff's hand, oh my goodness, surely is going to justify Honitsu here. In basically every scenario. Oh, with the 4, absolutely 6 pin immediately.
I would Hatsu, I mean, personally. Yeah, I like the Hatsu discard from Cliff. If we draw 2 so, but
These Ho-Oh players are ladder 4th avoidance brands. You gotta play the value. There's so much there. Why are we throwing Hatsu? We have enough chance. It's not
we're
out
so
yet.
far we're Ishanten right now. That's part of it too. Like this is a pretty
Ishanten
close
for
game.
Ricci
Boom.
Nomi. We have Honitsu with a floating
Now
Yakurai.
we
In
take
many of
it.
the scenarios, we just call anyway, so might as well.
I like starting with the Hatsu. Like let it because if you draw 4 pin or 7 pin, you're just gonna take that Ricci. But like if the South comes out before you complete the 5-6 shape, now we call the South, we discard 5-6. I like this. I like the order of things from Cliff here.
Tucker, counterpoint. I don't like it, and Honitsu's awesome, and we beat Mangan Senpai right now. So what do you feel about that? Go ahead. Justify that.
There was
Go
already
ahead. Didn't think so. Didn't freaking think so. That's okay.
Now
I
we're
don't
gonna get
think
the
is anybody else
Tuso
winning
Chi.
this
Chi.
while I was messing around. Well, of course we get the Tuso Chi. It's so good.
And now we have 3-so, 6-so, wait. And there's our 2 calls. Tempai with no so discarded. Ian in a little bit of trouble. Unless the
Yeah.
3-sos are pair, it's going to be hard to make both of those work. And with
He
no
could just
overflow
fly 3-so
yet.
player. Could even just keep it. You know, we don't have to
Chi.
be so aggressive yet. Throw some Manzu. Work towards that Tanya Tempai. We also have Tempai across. 3-pin Tuso. 1 Tuso left in the wall. 1 3-pin.
Ooh,
Although
that
now
2
we've
pin.
upgraded the
Boom.
Sunmenchan. Yep, 258. And Dennis going to take it home. Tanya Nomi, get the game advancing. Going into all last.
I
Has
would like to
reasonable
point out
chance
that
to
the
drop
Honitsu didn't
Cliff.
win there, just for the record. I want it on record that the Honitsu didn't win.
Was Cliff playing the Honitsu from the start? No.
Would have made no difference. It affects
Hypothetically,
nothing.
because it was not in the real world practical situation, that is a hypothetical. That is how arguments work. If you're watching at home, remember you can take that advice home. If it doesn't happen exactly that way, it is a hypothetical argument. You can use that to dismantle it. Make sure to push your agenda. That's my advice.
Harrison giving a lecture on propaganda on ARML stream, arguing.
You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody watching. Which, speaking of agendas, Ian's agenda is getting a fat third this game. This is looking tough. This is not a great hand. This Richinomi does not have enough to fight with.
I mean, it's not
Dennis's hand. Dennis's hand
you kind of
is pretty
have
good.
to.
Tanonomi,
I mean, it's not that it doesn't have enough to fight with. It has to fight. It just like,
it's just bad.
It just doesn't. It's bad. But
exactly.
But we can still get there. It only takes a couple of perfect draws.
I mean, the problem is but you look at Dennis's hand to the right. You look at the hand across. You look at Yishank's hand. Like, there's a lot of good fighting hands. So again, like hypothetically, Ian's hand can fight here. The problem is you look at the realistic scenario, and it's not there. Like, meet potential dealer hand. It's not fighting. It's not getting there.
Yi Ching with the upgrade on that 5-so draw now has the Ryanman instead of the Kanchan. Still needs a pair, but having that Anko of 1-mon, it is Dora, but if we draw 7-pin, we could discard one of our Dora to take Richi Pinfu Dora 2.
No, of course.
In Yi Ching's, there it is. There's the 7-pin.
Okay, I mean 1 for 1. Technically, you lose out on Fu, but you get the Han, which should be more. And we're gonna take it.
Well, it's a Han for a Han, but it's also the good weight. Like, you know,
yeah.
There's a lot here. And we only see 2 9
hand is making me bug out. I can't even read this. Is this 4-so every time? Yeah. I don't know what you do after.
Sumo.
And there's the 3-so.
Oh, Ipatsumo!
Richi, Ipatsu, Sumo, Pinfu. No, Hanuman's enough.
Big
Hanuman
word.
gets you into third.
Passes Ian, drops Cliff. Dennis is actually great on that.
That twice in a row, Dennis has ended up above 30K. This time, because someone else sumoed the last place with the Hanuman Sumo, pulls Cliff beneath 30K. This is unhinged. These last 2 Hanchan have been absolutely unhinged. And Dennis has profited.
Dennis is doing good. Dennis is hitting those good. Dennis is playing floating Uma basically perfectly right now. Just really maximizing on being first and making sure everybody else is below. Taking that +5
Wait. Hold on. I love Dennis. And I want to applaud Dennis at every time possible. I think Dennis has played great. However, the first time Dennis risked not winning at all and would have had the floating Uma anyway, this time it wasn't Dennis at all that got above 30K. It was the fact that last place in Patsumo to Hanuman. Dennis isn't the one that got the floating Uma there.
Tucker, can I explain a concept to you that is thrown at me basically at every possible scenario because everybody hates me?
Yes.
They call that a skill issue. Is it actually? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter in the sake of the argument. Dennis got it, so simply it is a skill issue for all those who did not get it. Another fun fact of propaganda for those at home: you can just do that. Everybody else does. Join the crowd. Why not?
Hey, I want to point out, I was talking about this earlier while we were trying to figure out the Tenho issues, but Yi Ching, after those two crazy ass games, still no first or fourth. Zero
Yep.
5-3-0 for Yi Ching. Very solid, consistent
Bad
play,
Zhang.
which you
Very
really
good.
expect to climb up.
Yeah, very solid player. Very good fundamentals. You can see it by the it's not the EV. The EV is not the best, but the average for the win rate versus stealing rate. Very good values there.
I mean,
I mean,
we have seen a lot. I feel like we kind of tuned in on a lot of perfect tables here. Like the
listen,
whole night
we
has been
did, but I'm
full of
not gonna
stuff.
say that there are not more tables because at this point in normal, there's always a good table going on.
That is true. And that's what's so great about how it's growing. And I mean, speaking of, if you want to be a part of ARML's great
Yes.
growth, and if you want to be at one of these
Yes.
great tables that's always going on
Yes.
these Wednesday nights, because apparently Wednesday nights are the only day anyone's free, you just have to go to oh god, I don't remember the website. Hold on, let me do exclamation point socials in the chat real quick.
Oh, let's throw it up there.
All right, at
AmericanRichie.org.
AmericanRichie.org if you would like
Yep.
to sign up for our next season. Signing up
Type.
early always has the benefit that if someone has to drop out, like people have had children in the past, people have gotten really sick, there's all sorts of
Mhm.
reasons someone might drop out in the middle, and we need subs when that happens. And if you sign up early, even though the next season's pretty far off, over 2 months away, you could be that sub and get some practice in beforehand. One of the current, like, consistent A1 stands, Jonathan, actually his first season in ARML was, if I remember correctly, subbing in for someone into A1, and then he worked his way from the bottom all the way to top and earned his spot in A1 after that. So lots of good practice you can get that way. If you want to follow us on any of the socials, at American Ricci on Twitter, tinyurl.com/ARMLYT. If you want to see the 3,075,000,000 hours of English commentary Mahjong content there, I mean, I feel like we have to be one of the biggest repositories of English Mahjong video content at this point, just as like a matter of course, because we've done so much. But always be on the lookout to see when those streams are happening. I think we're going to keep going. I'm reading all this stuff off because it
Yep.
came naturally, but I think the stream's actually going to continue
Hey,
without
quick little
Tucker.
jump in. Yeah, quick little jump in. Always good to plug the socials, but we have so many great gear games. I know you're in Tennessee time. Might as well be 5 a.m. where you are.
It's really, bro.
In
I
a
can
simple
hear my
sense.
dog scratching at the door. Like my dog is like, "Hey, come play with me." You haven't thrown my ball for 3 hours. That's unacceptable. You are now required to come pay the ball tax for your
Yeah,
commentary.
me 2 rows without a Shanten upgrade.
But
I'm on their side.
I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of the night. Keep watching this stream. It's not over, even though I did
Yep.
a lot of the like kind of typical sign off stuff. We are still continuing. So love you all. Have a good rest of the night.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tucker. We're looking at the current game. And I believe, if I'm unmistaken, which surely I will be, we're looking at a D3 game. Ooh. Looking at Josue, Max, Ichika, and Lewis. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we got someone special in the commentary booth. Another A1 member, potentially an eternal A1 member,
former
and
A1
a
member.
pro player. Oh, shit. Oops. An eternal A1 member. That's impressive.
There we go.
That's
There
good.
we go. Eternally in our hearts.
Yeah,
Look
we got
like
Nathaniel coming on. There we
You
go.
had the craziest games, and I just have to shout out, Dennis, you're a legend. Okay, you're a legend for for passing that round.
Reminder I taught Dennis straight from the get-go. I taught him how to play Mahjong when he knew nothing. So just remember that when everyone likes to call me a bad player.
Yeah, we should
Evidence
have
there.
a good series this time around, and I want to know who got the Armel no name. I
It's a
see
good
Josue on the
point.
left, Max were behind, Ichika on the right. So I guess it has
Yep.
to be Lewis. Has the
Yeah, that would do
Armel,
it.
or is that a sub?
Surely. Oh, might be a sub.
It's looking
Nope.
like a sub.
Registered the name. Nope.
Oh
Lewis
no,
said,
there
you
is
know what?
Lewis.
Let's run it.
All right. Props to you for nailing that handle.
Full
You pulled it
confidence.
off.
Again, if you do well, it's beast mode. If you do bad, you will never hear the end of it.
Well,
So
so
it's
far so
really
good.
full committal. Yeah,
Plus
impossible range.
59.4 for Lewis in the standings. Top of this table. We haven't reached on the break from Ichika.
ポン
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ichigo, very, very good player. She was in, I think she did very well in the Psycho Isen qualifiers or a Psycho
Uh,
Isen Cup or tournament that was
yeah, there's
very,
a
very hard.
UOSIN qualifier. She made
Yeah,
it into the tournament and actually
that's what it
advanced
was.
quite far into that tournament. Absolutely fantastic. She also does
Amazing player.
commentary.
Mhm.
Recently did commentary for a collegiate
Sumo.
tournament that was hosted on Mahjong Soul.
Yeah, very well tournament. We are gonna see her sumo at each sumo. Nothing much, just 230. You know, quick little point getter. Make sure everybody stays cheap on the board. Limit
looks
the
like
points for
Max
Max.
is pulled ahead, right? So
Yeah.
Ichika just staying with it, and now gets her first chance as the dealer. One door in hand, nice completed shape, and a
yeah.
2-pin to accompany the door. This is looking fantastic.
Niche Pandora, very solid, very good dealer hand. Has to play it closed, but looking quite nice. That being said, the rest of the board has some speed to it. We're looking to the right. Mr. Armel, Louis, or Lewis
We're gonna
is
say
that
this name
Ishanten?
5 different ways.
Oh yeah, of course. We'll just throw a bunch out. Someone will say it one way, and we'll be like, "Oh, okay." We also across have Josue at the E Peiko Ryanshanten with Dorothu. Very, very good. And even to the left, like Max is looking quite nice. Has some decent shots for a normal hand. Is going to throw the Formon. Has some back end Chitoi routes. So it can be very defensive in first. A lot of flexibility there.
Yeah, dealer continues to make progress 2 away from Tempai now. You say has to play closed. I say gets to play closed. Like, this is going to be a fantastic Richie Pink Fedora. And if you pair up the 3-pin, you could even get door 2 out of this.
I mean, Ishanten, it feels like has to play it closed. You know, Ishanten maybe gets to play it closed. But Ryanshanten, it feels like it's a little ambitious. You're just playing for K10 if you take it open.
Speaking about ambitious moves, so what do you think about Josue playing for Chitoi here instead of a normal hand? I feel like even in this spot, a Mon cut is appropriate.
I mean, I don't even think it's necessarily a Chitoi play. The 1-2 Mon overlaps with the 4-5 Mon. You're still accepting the 3. That 7-pin is a little bit more indicating if you're playing a standard efficiency hand. I believe the cut is 6-0 there. Is going to cut 7-pin to kind of keep that Chitoi back end round. Ooh, and the 8-pin draw after. Not able to play that 6-7-8. But again, not a bad hand from Josue. Can cut a pair. Get that 1-1-2-2-3-3. But with the Dora pair pickup, Ichika on 3-6. So looking lethal. Problem is only one left in the wall for each. Oof.
is that what we say now? Her Ishanten was incredibly wide. She drew the 3-sided shape in the pin tiles, which, when you're lacking a pair, is 5 potential tiles into Tempai just in that, just for the 4 potential pair candidates alone, and then you get all the sequence draws, the 147 draws, and you're looking fantastic. But this, as you said, central weight is already a bit weak. Twice depleted is worse, and when players are not cutting centralized tiles. You suspect they're holding it, but she draws it.
Sumo, H-pin for Sumo. Dora 2. No
Finds
Ura
the
flip. We'll take the
last
Mangan.
copy of the Sanzo in the wall. It's
my
paid off,
goodness.
that tile. This stream.
Someone clear the chat log. Someone clear the stream. Delete the VODs. They've already had their clip today. We can't let Sanzo Occultist get to. It's not fair.
You know you're having a good game when you're winning your Mangan on your dealership specifically, and Ichika now jumps into a second place that closely contests Max for first, and she gets to keep the dealership going one more turn, though this hand looks a bit tricky to put together.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing for Ichika is the rest of the hands don't look too strong. We have to the right, Luis, not too much going on. Maybe a back end Ricci or just a Chi toy. Across, Josue looking like a very standard hand. Can call the fourth West for a very quick West Nomi. And to the left, the main contender Max looking to just play a normal hand to fight against Ichika, but will be a Ricci Nomi and will have to commit in order to fight dealer hand. Josue is going to take the fourth West, decide to try to play a bit fast. Ishan 10, it's good shape, but again, no value with a Ricci on the board. I would not be surprised if Josue tries to back up, be a bit defensive in it.
Big draw for Lewis, though, grabbing the 7, so confirming the door shape 7, 8, 9, so in hand. And actually, the hand's starting to look strong. The issue is you have Josue across the table just too fast. Pulls in a door as well to make it 2 Hans. So for Max and Ichika, this hand's probably over. They probably are suspecting it's not going to come together fast enough.
Yeah.
And the door is an important point here. Like, at the early portion of the hand, no one had any. So there was a question of, how much do you really want to fight for this? Now one has come to Lewis, one has come to Josue. So they're a little bit more confident that the other hands are going to be a little cheaper. Also, I noticed Lewis with an interesting discard earlier. Cut the 2-pin from the 2-3-3. It was a very efficient decision, but now cuts the 2-pin a second time and is playing the 1-3-5 shape. But I think it's pretty natural to cut the 3-pin there instead and keep the 1-3-5 Yankan shape as well as a 2-3-pin Yamen shape, and you're looking good. As is right now, we might end up on the Shampon 3-pin, 5-pin later, and that's a little bit weak. Although 6-pin was a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Some interesting cuts here. I wonder if he's actually concerned about the open hand at this point.
Could be. I mean, there's a couple Tadashis. There's at least one Han showing. 8-so. Could definitely see Upper Sozu being kept by the Reach player. Excuse me, by the open player. But with East out, each cut going to start to fight. Probably going to cut 1-2-so later this turn.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I believe that Lewis is actually folding almost, or just playing the Mawashi against Josue because of the 3-6-pin cut, the 3-5-so Kanchan cut afterwards. But we have a Rigi from Max who's going to take the challenge here with potential Anko and loads of food, the Anko of 1-so and 9-mon in hand. Chi to breaky pots and find Tempai. 5-8-mon for Josue. Owen finds the Tsumo on the 5-mon. So Sha Dora 1 will grab the Ricci stick from Max as well. Josue shuts it down, but still in fourth as we head into East 4.
Now, I will say we have heard from inside the cupboard. We've heard through Nox and Morse code that apparently Ichika won a Dai Sangen earlier tonight.
We are definitely going to pull that clip up later then. The game log.
Ichika's luck is there. The question is, can she continue it and bring it out? We lost the dealership, and let me tell you, Luis's hype looking pretty good for dealer, but the question is, can we finish it out? Can we really connect it? Keep that dealership?
It's got so many pairs. That's the issue. And there's not really a clean out to like an outside hand or some other Yaku. We're not in the south round yet. So it feels like you just have to stay closed in Ricci. And if you draw another pair, then you really have to think about it. Like, say you drew a 5-pin. What do you do in that situation? 2-pin, perfect example. What do you do? Maybe
I mean, you can
3-pin?
cut
6-pin
three-pin
just to
without losing
commit?
too much. I mean, 3-pin only loses two 1-pins. And technically
Yeah.
3-pins for Chitoy, but you gain more Chitoy outs in the others.
So the big deal is going to be the 2-mon draw. Once you draw the Dora into that 1/1 3-mon shape, do you commit back to the normal hand then with a 1-mon cut?
Ooh, that is a tough sell. We'll throw the 3-mon to start, so it looks like no, we'll just wait Chitoy. But now we have the decision from Hosway, and we are
Go
going
for
to
it.
take it.
I think
on
that's
the white.
acceptable here. It doesn't feel
Yep.
good to go out those guy for only 2,000 points, but
Mhm.
that tile was one that you desperately needed to win the
Boom.
hand, and it's still East 4. You still have your dealership coming up. It might be better to prevent somebody else from winning the hand, especially the person who's closest to you in the current point situation, than it is to win a big hand yourself. So Jose will just take the 2,000 point win once again and inch closer to third place, and more importantly, move to his dealership.
Mhm. And we finally get to South round. Halfway point of the game is reached. Everybody still somewhat close. Hosway really looking to make a statement with this dealership, but not all the way committed. Still 3 rounds to play, even at a loss here.
Yeah, it is looking pretty good here. I like the shapes that we have in hand. And we're going to hold some nice floater tiles as well. The 5-mon can build into something better than the 2/4 pin currently is.
Boom.
But on the other hand, Max, with the double south call, is just going to try to shut this down. And from the lead, it certainly makes sense that the value doesn't matter as much as preventing maybe Ichika from coming into this game, coming into this hand. But she is so fast right now, already one away from Tempai with the
Oh, so
3 3
speedy.
4 5 5 7 shape. That's like a 3 4 5, and leftover tiles make a 3 5 7 double
Very
inside
strong
weight.
3 outcome. Yep. And I mean, again, the West normally very strong, very not in demand. That being said, when dealer Hostway has it is going to be hard to get the West to come out. Might only be on a fold, and you even see their 9-so thrown out. We want to keep that pair. Fish a little bit. 8-pin, though, that'll help. We're going to throw it right back, though. Don't want it.
Yeah, so it's pretty natural to play like the 5-pin, 3-pin, or play like the West or something like that to keep the Yamen shape. But Ichika says the 7-8 shape accepts 6-pin, 9-pin. That's that's 2 tiles, right? The 3-5-7 accepts 4 6-pin. That's also 2 tiles, and I potentially get Ipeko on the 4-pin. So you're really valuing the Ipeko opportunity
Yeet.
as a value route, catching up to Max. However, we're going to see Tempai on the left from Lewis for Yakuhai or Yakuhai Dora 1, and now a Tempai from the dealer as well,
Gee.
slamming the Richi Dora 1, waiting on the
Oh, just
3-pin.
3-pin. Very, very well, not the strongest way, but definitely very sort of pressing on the rest of the board. Definitely makes them think about what they want. We are going to see a switch to the right. Looks like Max is on 5-pin, close to the weight. Definitely very scared on throwing that, and is going to push Genbutsu 7. So 9. So
Whoa.
is it going to come out? And yes.
Yeah,
Lewis is
Gambutsu to
gonna
the dealer
snipe it.
Richi.
Yep. I mean, that'll take it. That's why it's a good weight. If dealer's going to reach you, you're going to be safe to dealer over everything else. So if you can wait on a tile that is definitely safe to dealer, it works out.
All right, so that small hit means there's a slightly larger gap now for Max to work with. This Hypai looks like it wants to be Itsu in the
Yep.
Sozu. Maybe you draw 3-so and play for a standard hand, but still needs a lot of work. On the right, that looks quite pretty.
Oh, buttery, especially with that 5-mon. So much intake on the Manzu.
We have the same shape. It's the Yankan 5-5. Sorry, one of my favorite shapes: 4-4-5, 6-6-7, 8-8.
Jeez.
Oh, it's so pretty. No matter which one you get, you're going to get Ipeko.
I technically, yeah, but you have to hit the 5 or the 7. You hit like 9, and you're like, oh.
Okay, but you still can eat Peko. It's just a worse way.
Yeah, that's true. Fair point. Fair
Boom.
point.
I
Well, the
guess
problem is we
the
have open from Hosway. We're on North Yakuhai. We're Ishanten, not quite Tempai, but looking like very strong shape. We can take that Dora one so good Ryanmans. We're gonna push away that 7-pin. Don't need it. Free 10 issues.
that could have been a cheat from Max, but you have to drop the Dora, and that's not something he wants to do. You could also cut 5-7 and play for Itsu, but Max has bigger vision right now. It's going to
Yeah.
stay close with the Itsudora, one potentially. You need to call the top, you can just draw it yourself.
Yep, very strong hand. Might even see the 8-pin out here. Decides to keep it. Decides, you know what, 8-pin's safer on the board. Does well verse 2, whereas the Tune, a little bit weird. Red Dragon might deal into something odd I'm not considering.
Yeah, that's a
And
tough one.
Ichika gonna get agency in the hand. Calls pawn on the 8-mon. Debating on the drop. Takes Tempai on the 5-8-mon. 8-mon completely out with 2 5s. Just looking at 2 more 5s. Decides that is the best route. Could
Jeez.
potentially have dropped 7 on the 5s too, but maybe some
Yeah.
upgrades here.
It's really tough for Ichika because she doesn't want to open this hand for one hunt, but that was the last copy of the 8-mon, and the shape was starting to get worse and worse as time went on. So she decided to just play for it, and that's acceptable here. I mean, she's still within 3,000 points of first place, and she gets the dealership. So Ichika now in South 3, important swing round. High Pie is very important, and it's got some pairs in Kanchan shapes.
But a little ugly. It's so hard to make it work. And then you look at hands like Lewis on the right. We have the Haku pair ready to get called, and it will on just great shapes surrounding Shanten, but with no pair. So a lot of upgrades. We have a cross Hosway's hand. Yakuai pair waiting on that last tune. We passed the first into the left. Max's hand has called the south. It just looks like Ichika is going to struggle to match the speed on this hand.
Yeah, that's a call where, some players would avoid that because the shapes are poor, but at least Max has all the shapes he needs. And he, by opening his hand, that allows him to call some of these bad shapes a lot more easily. Grab a 7-so and not feel so bad. Grab a 3-mon and not feel so bad. And Max also has a very good head for folding when necessary. So it's not as dangerous that he's over here. Might pass this too, so actually just goes for it. Because I'll take the Ishanten. I heard you talking about this earlier with Tucker about sometimes taking, sometimes passing your strong shape when you have weak shapes elsewhere.
Yeah, thinking about that end weight, very, very important. Because even if you can get a Tempai, if you can sacrifice just a little bit to get a stronger guaranteed Tempai in the end game, really can be a better strategy than taking guaranteed Tempai. It'll depend on what player you talk to. We are going to see Luis on that 6-9, so very, very strong. 2 6s, 3 9s now drawn, but 3 more in the wall. And let me tell you, any copy of any of them is going to be harder and harder to use as the game progresses.
Look,
Nobody else really
definitely
has agency too. Oh, could
it's
see
definitely
6 here. Yep. Josue has efficient 6.
Because Josue had called the 3 Dora.
Yep.
It becomes a situation where neither of the open hands really care about dealing into each other. They just want the hand to end. And so they will just press forward without regard for their own safety. Yeah. And it does end up ending in the favor of Lewis, who gets the dealership here in South 4, potentially the final hand of the game.
As long as the cannon doesn't win, it doesn't matter if we had to shoot water guns at each other. And speaking of water guns, Lewis is kind of building up a water gun here, looking like Ricci, maybe Dora 1. On the right, Josue, nothing much to show for it either. Ishanten on a Ricci Nomi. Potentially could build a Dora in there and a Shanten. slow-ish across for a normal Ricci. To the left, Ichika, just a normal Ricci. It's going to be an interesting hand. I'd imagine we're going to be very, very slow on the draw. Nobody's going to be very committal, open up. I imagine it's whoever hits the draws to get to Tempai first is going to Ricci.
Yeah,
Take
I
it
just feel very
2-2.
much like closed hands. The players with incentive to
Yeet.
open, of course, are oh, there we go. Josue with the Ricci.
Oh, perfect it. Reach Pinfu.
And look,
Not
this
exactly the value we want, but
this might not be enough
something
value
there.
to overtake, but it will at the very least points are points, right? It points that you earn are points that you're not losing, and also it prevents Lewis from getting over 30,000 points. If all three players were above 30,000 points and Josue was the only player below, he would lose an extra 5 points of UMA. So it's actually really important that he prevents Lewis from winning a hand here. And the other thing is, like, what else are you going to do with this hand? Are you going to just fold from Tempai? You might as well take the points that you can get. And this is actually kind of tough for the other players because Ichika has a lot of incentive to try to fight this. I mean, her gap to first place is only 2,900 points. With the Ricci stick, that becomes 1,100 points. So just a 2,000 point hand will win it for her. But she also doesn't want to deal into Mongon and drop below 30,000 points. And the issue is she cannot see any of the Dora. So the chance that there's a Mongon over there is not unlikely, but she'll at least try the 6-mon, and we're going to see that Sumo instead reach Sumo Pinhu. Needs an Ura 2 to make it fun, but we'll accept Ura 1. Points are points.
Yep, doesn't get there, but again, plus is plus. 2 points could be the difference from Josue being in demotion versus not demotion. It's still very early, so especially just keeping other people down too. You know, if Luis decides to get above 30k, that's also a -5 UMA as well as whatever sumo points you'd lose. So definitely a reasonable decision taking the +2, saying, you know what, I'm not going to Gyaku 10 everybody. Let's just get what I can here.
All right, so results from the game: Max climbs up to 48.5. Lewis still the top player in this grouping as it stands immediately, but very close between the two of them. And the promotion zone in B3 is quite large here because the B2 division is so big. So 7 players will drop out of B2, 7 players will move into B2, and so a lot of chances. As long as you're in the positive range, you're looking good. Ichika moves into the positives as well with that nice second place.
Yeah.
Also, some work to do, but early season action, of course, has lots of chances moving forward.
Yep, a lot of room.
And I'm loving the names here in the B3 division. So many players that I'm recognizing, so many players that I expect to be
strong players. It is crazy.
Now, also a player that I competed against over the board for the first time this year at the North Texas Open. He made the finals, and it was it was very cool meeting him because I'd seen his name in Armel one season. Like, wait a second, is this the same? It is the same guy. Awesome. And I love meeting the Armel folks face to face. I met Peter, who is in 4th place currently in this division at the same tournament. Some of the Oklahoma players were there as well. So the Texas players were there. All these names. Multiple of the players from this division were at that one tournament. And actually this weekend I'll be going to another one in Michigan, hoping to see a lot more of these players as well.
Yeah, it's very exciting. That was one of my favorite things when I first started going out to tournaments, meeting everybody who I talked to and kind of played against in Armel, and, you know, seeing them in person and really like getting more of the story and understanding them. Because like you already kind of know them from playing in Armel, you do a little bit of chatting, but also just seeing them playing tournaments and really put themselves out there, same as you, is a really, really cool experience. In my opinion, it's super unique and one of the best parts about trying to play competitively and get to know the community.
I just like being able to use all of the information that I've gained from watching them play Armel.
Yeah, right. And like I'm the same way. I'm like, okay, you're gonna play this way, so I can I get an extra like 3% edge off that. We take those.
At the same time, people don't always play exactly the same way over the board as they do online. Like I know I'm definitely have a slightly different play style, and folks certainly use my unique play style against me, I imagine. But it's all good fun.
Yep.
Sounds like we've got a game ready to go.
Yep.
So we are preparing to hop into that, assuming Tenho cooperates. It's been a little bit slow on us, but we're straight into it. And we are sitting at the same table. We've got Lewis, our first dealer here, who is already one away from Tenpai. Josue on the right is in the south seat and is close to Tenpai, one away as well, with Adora. Across the table, we've got Max, Ishan 10 as well. Pretty strong here. Would love to draw 2 so, 3 so, or 4 so into Tenpai with Adora. And Ichika on our left, 2 away from Tenpai, looking to fill the pin shapes, really. 2 so would be an ideal draw as well. 2 pin. How fun do you want to play this? How much fun do we want to have? No, that is the efficient move, not the fun move, Max. I want to see 3-mon. 3-mon was the cut of choice. We are going to have an incredibly wide Ishanten with 2 door here from Max. He really wants to win this, but Ichika draws back-to-back strong tiles, including the 2-so. So she finds Richi Pinshu waiting on the 4-7 Mon. Not quite Sancho, a little bit shy of that, but this is going to put the pressure on Max, who has a hand that he definitely feels like he should, I don't know about should, but would love to put together here to get off to a good start in this one. Lewis finds Nakatsuji 6-so. Josue 1-mon jam as well. There's the Tenpai. Got to fight here. Suji 2-mon's going to go through. Going to play the Boo 5 instead. Okay, this is probably slightly better. And we're going to see the chase from Lewis on the Shabo. 6-mon, 7-pin versus Toyman's 3-pin, 6-pin. That's for Max. With the Richi door 2. And the 4-mon that's going to come out for Ichika, Richi Pihu. And no Ura, 2,000 points. The cheap hand is going to shut it down. Wow. All the hands come together right about the same time, which, given the state of the high pie, makes a lot of sense. And it was Ichika pulling through. Josue, our dealer now, 1-pin Dora, none held by, or 1 to the right for Max, although the shapes there need some work. Across the table, a lot of Mon tiles, but the 1-mon might be, I don't know, maybe a little premature. In my mind, I really like to think about Chinitsu, but she draws the 2-pin, so all of those thoughts will go straight away.
It's Akanashi too, so Honitsu and Chinitsu are just such good value that it really is something to play for. But when you're drawing like Ichika, I mean, you can't blame her. Look at those, just perfect fill-ins. Playing the Dora for Reach Pin Fudora, it's so solid.
Yeah, we definitely end up in the same place here. On the left, Lewis also hanging onto that door, hoping something connects to it. But Ichika's just going to be too fast here. Richi Pinshu Dora 1, waiting 3-6-so.
No, 3-6-9.
And the Sozu. It's interesting here because we've got the... she had this weight before in the previous game. 3-6-so. With only 1 copy of the 3-so remaining, she found it. And now, once again, there's only 1 copy of the 3-6, but also 3-so. But also 2 copies of the 6. So we'll see if she can find this one as well. Pinshu Dora.
Yep, still fishing for it. We are facing a little bit of thought. Josue enters the tank, decides 4-mon is the drop. A lot of dangerous things to push. We're going to try and cut that 4-2-mon before we have to push anything super committal.
Yeah, Josue is a player that likes to... He likes to Mawashi. He likes to stay in the hand. But this is just a little bit too much.
Yeah, and just full folds. Doesn't even entertain the Shun. Just says, I'm going to play the 7-mon full fold. Not commit to anything. Really make sure I play safe. Not give any extra points.
Sumo.
There it is.
Sumo comes out too. Each pin for Sumo Dora.
Gonna get
Doesn't
there.
hit the Ura for the upgrade. 1800 lost. Who cares?
Yeah, she hasn't hit any Ura, but she has won both of the hands. So with the power of 2 Richis combined, She is just about a Mongon lead here on the rest of the table. We head to Max in the dealer seat. With the East Dora, can be spicy, but hang on a second. It's Lewis across the table with the East pair. So things are going to get spicy here really soon, especially because Max's hand is coming together in a way that might incentivize him to drop the East later on. We will see if he tries to use that as the pair or not. Of course, on the right for Ichika, there are shapes, but 3 Kanchan shapes is a bit of a struggle.
And again, on the left, Josue, good, solid fundamental shape, but not a lot of value. And even getting a Ricci Pinfu is looking a bit rough right now. We're tanking on the drop. We want to fish that 1, 2, 3 Sanshoku. Now we're going to say, well, maybe we get 2, 3, 4. We can still play around it. Keep that 2, 5 pin. That's a little inefficient. Drop that. I think this
is fine. I mean, if you're thinking about Sanshoku, 4, 5, 6 is also there. And just holding the 2, 2, 4, 6, 6 shape is excellent. It's a premium shape when you are a couple tiles away from Tempine.
Absolutely, can't argue on that. I think this hand is going to come down to what goes on. Although the problem is Ricci on E7, so we have 2 whites. The question is Max going to call? Decides to wait. Drops D5, so Genbutsu, 1 white out. The problem is Max is going to have a hard time justifying a push with only 1 white left with easy Yaku and shape. Gets the 6, is able to drop a lot of Genbutsu, getting a lot of work done in the hand. Although the problem is that East is looking like it is floating out in the middle of shark-infested waters to me.
Yeah, this is really interesting. If that Haku had come out any earlier, the White Dragon, then Max certainly would have called it. But now, after the Ricci, he might end up cutting Haku later. If he draws into Chitoi, that might be an option as well. Also, notably, Josue had save tile. He had, 5, 7 pin, but jammed the unseen Haku again on Ipatsu turn.
Sumo.
So, the big Sumo!
Oh!
That is the expensive one.
And Tone.
Oh, the sun is left. This is everything that you could possibly have wanted. Got the door draw, found the north as the Uda indicator once again. Make it to our 6. And Lewis will jump into the lead. What a monster.
I'm seeing the array on tonight being like 60%. I can no longer
it's
say
everyone
this is an
but
honest league. It's ridiculous.
Okay, she's the only one who hasn't hit Uda.
But she's hitting her every hand. Dennis hit like 5 tonight. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Dennis, like, what are we doing?
Okay. Well, we moved to East 4. Ichika gets the dealership. Now this looks like
Chitoi. I would be scared if I was on this table because Ichika is guaranteed to hit Ura 2 on this Chitoi. So this is practically Mongon brewing.
It's this is interesting.
Guaranteed.
Not interesting. It just shuts it down. Lewis tried to get rid of that Dora a little preemptively because, it's starting to become a threat. And also it was just faster.
Not quick enough, yeah. But cheap, 2K, not that big. Fairly
you just
cheap amount. You can afford it.
A Baimon, so you can afford 2,000 points.
All good. You'll take that. Good fee to advance the rounds. Get Ichika off dealer. Make it a little bit harder for them to pass, get to first. Although, oh my god, speaking of Chitoi, Ryanshan 10 with Taylor Lewis.
Yeah, that's kind of, you got the East pair, so you'd prefer almost to play an open hand. Maybe Toy is an option, actually. Not super likely with these blocks, but you never know.
So maybe, but
the wall says it was Toy. Look at those one pins.
Ones, yeah, maybe. Nope, East comes out.
Also, an interesting open here on the right with the one so banking on the White Dragon to come out, but that is yet to be seen as he finds Ishant that just drops the Dora.
Says, don't want it. I'm cheap. Don't be afraid about playing stuff into me. Don't worry. I'm a cheap date.
The thing here is that Max does not like that. Like, Max wants to build a hand. He wants to slam a reach. He wants to win some points from last place. And when Josue says, hey, everybody, don't worry about me. I'm cheap. I'm going for some Atos.
Yeah.
Could go for Toy Toy. Could force it here, the 4-pin, 5-pin. He's thinking
4
about
pin's
it. thinking,
interesting, but with the
he's
6,
going.
with the 5 dirty Max or Josue.
You know what?
Josue,
Atosuke isn't
dirty,
good enough for
dirty.
me.
God, especially committing the full
And
5.
there's the
There you
6.
could draw the 7. Okay, gets the perfect tile. Yep, 6.
We're going to see a Ricci, though.
Or
Oh, it's
Haku.
gotta be. It's gotta be.
It's
Does
good.
Max want more? Okay, no. This is good enough. And he
Yeah,
might
says,
be
"You
a
know
little
what?
bit
We'll
concerned about throwing a Ricci into what potentially could be something like Koritsu Toy Toy in the
Oh,
Dora suit.
1-4 is so bad, though. 4-7 so Senpai on dealer Lewis, though.
Yeah, you're right. That's also a big concern. The fact that
Tondor.
4 of the tiles have already come out. But
Yeah, especially 3 of the 1 pins. If you have like 2 and 2, like 2 1 pins, 2 4 pins is a little bit more reasonable. With 3 of the 1 pins, which is your good out, it's so hard. It's so difficult. Although with the 7, so
that is the cheap one, only 2,900. I guess the Ricci Nomi was
only
also not that expensive
29,
either.
but it's hey, you could have flipped her. You never know.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Monko's in
saying.
there.
You never know with a Ricci. How many times have I looked at a hand and said, I have all the Dora. That can't have any value. It's Ricci only. And sure enough, it's Ricci only until they flip the Uda. And so they have a Mangan.
Yep, and then Manga Brewing. That's how it always. Welcome to the gamble of Riji Mahjong for those of us who are unlucky.
It's one thing to make the read and be wrong. It's another thing to make the read, be right, and still lose.
And lose the gamble, yeah. I mean, that's the game, right? That's the high level gameplay. The fact that you got to that point.
I mean, that's the thing, right? It's a numbers game. And more times than not, you're going to win the gamble. Your read is going to pay off. So you got to keep making the read and hope that you don't get randomly punished. But it is fast hands, actually. Pretty close to Tempai. Already Ishanten for our dealer, who improves the So shape.
Good shape.
Ishanten on the right as well.
On south weight, too. Very dangerous Shabo. No south out. Could catch somebody off guard.
We want to shout out Jose here for the 5-pin. A lot of times when you have that 2, 3, 4, 5 and you're cutting one of those tiles, you cut the 2-pin and keep the central tile. But Jose eyes up the 2, 3, 4 Sanchoku and says, I can do better. It ends up drawing Tempa in this Ipeco, but without seeing any of the Dora and such an easy to use Doras as the 7-mon, thinks, I don't really want to Ricci this. So he'll just Dama and look to not lose points. He'll try to shut down the hand and not lose points.
To further the learning corner, too.
Hang on
we are going to see the way to
Let's go.
He said, you know what? We'll try it. I do want to push on the learning corner, too. Whenever you have a situation. Oh, goodness. Don't lose the thought. Harrison. Oh, my goodness. I lost the thought. I don't know what I was going to say.
Maybe it had to do with not being able to see the Dora and having a Yako, but...
No, it was something else. I forget what it was.
I will say Max moving away from his hand. Ichika, not afraid, going to slam the chase.
Oh, and Tempai here. Very important. Are we going to push? We have multiple decisions. Can we take
You'd have to drop the 9-mon. Yeah.
We're going to drop south, fully safe as dealer. We're in the lead, but goodness. Oh, we draw the Ipeco.
But the 7,
not quite safe.
Forso confirmed.
Forso guaranteed safe.
I was going to say, the 7 almost looks safer than the Forso does until it becomes Genbutsu. There's the 8, though, that Sumo found by Ichika. No, of course. Not this game for Ichika. She doesn't need it. She's going to do it the honest way, as you say.
I remembered what my learning corner moment is. The 5-pin came out from the 2, 3, 4, 5 earlier from, I believe that was Lewis. One of the reasons to do that as well. Josue, yes. One of the reasons to do that is, let's say we have 2, 3, 4, 5. We drop 5-pin now. Later, if we draw the 5-pin, we can drop the 2-pin, and it's much safer than the 5-pin would be. Whereas if we drop 2-pin and add 3, 4, 5, drew another 5, we would have to drop a 5-pin in a lot of Tempai scenarios, which is much, much dangerous. Or much more dangerous. So it's a form of Sakigiri as well.
I really like that. Like that's that's like a luxury sort of learning corner, right? When you have
steak
that
too
option.
Juicy, lobster too buttery,
and I love it, right? It's so it's such a small thing, but sometimes that can be the difference.
It'll make up
it
some
can
edge.
also work the other way. Like a lot of times you're cutting that inside tile so that if you draw it later, you can cut the outside tile. But you might have a situation where there's a player you're trying to defend against, and you look at that player's discard specifically and say, okay, well, to them, the inside tile is actually safer than the outside tile is. So I'm going to cut the 2-pin instead, so that I have the safe 5-pin later. I guess it depends on the situation, of course.
Small edge, exactly. But that's what's really cool about situations like that. Like here's standard theory, but based on all these factors on the board, it's actually better to do this thing than the standard theory, which makes it so much more interesting. We have Tenpai with Dealer on 6-9 pin. With June Dora 2, this is definitely going to shake the table depending on who drops this, if anybody at all does. A lot of Pinzu in that hand. It looks like Lewis is going to play them all for now, but question is, how many more can we play? 5-pin, not going to do it yet.
It's too much. The 6, 8, 8, 9 shape, the 9-pin almost always comes out.
It's a time game. The question is, how soon before we draw another Pinzu that helps the hand? 9-pin, another one drawn. 9's totally dead.
Here it is.
6 in the wall. Surely it's 9. Yeah, and 9-pin comes out. 7,700. Or excuse me, 5,800. Dealt in, and all of a sudden, not a reset, but the table is much, much closer. Josue in striking distance of first. Ichika just 200 points down from Lewis. Tight table.
All right, look at the hand across for Ichika.
I want to throw up. That's my answer. Oh, okay. You just draw all the dragons. Why not? Sure.
Now, the way she's playing this is very consistent with her actions previously. A lot of players would just force Honitsu here. Ichika is holding 7-mon 3-pin and just staying with maximal efficiency. Not forcing.
Which, still having a Honitsu route. Can definitely play both, but not all in one way or the other.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think, okay, well, 3-pin is a bit of a signal now. Might be done disguising the situation.
Yeah, and especially with the 8. But at least keeps the acceptance. Says, you know what? Maybe if I draw into a Ryamen, hit 2-pin, or excuse me, hit 7-pin, hit like 6-mon, 8-mon, then maybe I won't make this Honitsu, but nothing tempting. So let's just play it straight. Honitsu in the Dora suit to Yakuai. Very, very strong hand that can scare the table, even if it's obvious. But Teeler with Dora Anko, and we have a Tanyao 2 we are able to sort of extract from this hand, and this can be very, very scary.
Better Isha-ten here with a 7-pin cut, but I think one of the things here is that Josue kind of wants Sanshoku. Just gives it a thought about it, says, okay, this is not happening with these shapes. We have a Tenpai across the way for Ichika, Honitsu, Yakuhai, and Dora waiting on the 5-so, but she wants to get a better weight, surely. There's lots of opportunities for that. 9-so, 7-so, 4-so, 3-so. All excellent draws here. Of course, the 5-so is the winner. And, well, rewarded, I guess. Look at this.
Question is, what do you even drop here? Maybe 7-mon? No, not even really 7-mon. We'll drop 3-pin. The 1-pins are out. We can still play 4-pin.
Yeah, so it makes it easier to get Tanyao here when you're looking for 5-8-pin rather than just a 4-pin for the Tanyao side. There's that improvement that Ichika was looking for. Now the Manga Tenpai on a Yamen weight. 5-so, 8-so. Open-ended.
Just have 4-pin. Lost a little bit on throwing 2-3-4. Excuse me, 2-3-pin. But still Ishanten, Tanyao, Dora 3, strong, guaranteed.
As far as punishes go, that was like the best way to be punished because you improved your tile acceptance this way. Oh, where does the Tenpai? But that's the deal.
It'll be Richi, double Yakuhai, Honitsu, Dora, just Mangan, but a lot of points, especially for Luis. Directly dealt in the competitor. It is massive.
Yeah, all those points from the Baimon earlier have now gone away, back to starting points for Lewis and Ichika in the lead. I have to say, though, with all those honor tiles having come out early, maybe that Hunitsu wasn't so obvious. I mean, we could see it from our perspective up above all the players. But, you know, the other players, it wasn't so clear when your first 4 cuts or so are honor tiles.
Mm-hmm. Definitely helps conceal it,
ポン
hide the game plan.
Max not hiding anything here. Gonna start with Yako I call and just play for the dealer repeat. Says this hand
Yeah.
is not strong enough for me to wait, and gets a nice 8-so pull. So
Yeah, that'll
Ishan
help a
then now.
lot.
No Sancho
Has a
going to
lot
happen
of
here.
calls to get to Tenpai, even if the Tenpai is not great. Dealer Tenpai is Dealer Tenpai, and this game was so ugly. Just any win here is going to be worth its weight in gold.
Would love to have that 1-so 3-so back though.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it goes. The one you cut is the one you draw into.
Yeah, it certainly made sense to keep all the shapes that were in hand. I mean, the 579 Yankan is efficient. The 5-pin connects the Dora. So very understandable the way this played. Just gave up on the Honitsu route.
Yep.
And here's an 8-pin. Important draw here. Start with a 1-mon. Hosue will think about the Sanchoku if he draws 2-so, 3-so. But currently just Ishan 10 with 2 diamond shapes, 2 open-ended shapes, 7 8-pin, and 2 3-so. So probably just going to be Richi Pinfu maybe with a Dora. Speaking of the Dora, Ichika draws a pair, and she is looking to capitalize on a little bit of value here.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis across the table as well. Making progress. The value really isn't there. There are a lot of pairs in the hand, but can open up with a bailout Hatsu Pom. And Hatsu drawn but held by Ichika. There's another pair. So Chito Ishan 10 for Lewis. That might be the route to value, actually. Still has Ipeiko opportunities, and so not locked into the pair's hand, but options.
This is Tenpai?
It is indeed. What looks good here?
I guess you throw 3 mon, waiting on 6 mon. You see a 4 mon. You don't see anything else.
Yeah, I think one of the things he's considering is that, you know, if you hold a 3-mon, you can upgrade to a diamond on the lower side. However, that's if you draw a 2-mon, and 2 of those tiles have already been cut, so it's a little less likely that you're going to see that.
I mean, even past
holding
that,
the
there's some
Nakasuji is
ones
better.
out. Yeah.
ドン
And it was indeed better. Max picks the right Kanchan weight, pulling the 1500 and repeat.
Yeah. Is able to secure the Renchon. Big points in the fact that we're able to continue dealer and try to fish more. That being said, High Pie not looking great. Not a whole lot of value able to be found here. Especially with the rest of the board to the right, Ichika has a very good Ishan 10. Even across Louise, a fantastic hand. My goodness gracious. Ishan 10, even if the weight's not the best, a lot of value to the left. Kamicha, Hosue. Just a beautiful hand. Another great Ishan 10. It is going to struggle, Max is, to continue Renchon. This is insane.
I mean, Max isn't that far himself, and he has callability too. It's going to be a real race, that's for sure. We do have the Tenpai. Also, will take the 1-so 4-so. Wait for Ricci only, but Max hits Ishan 10 as well. If he draws the right tile, he can challenge. If he draws the wrong tile, he will deal in. We'll see which one comes first. Mon tile likely, so problems perhaps for Max. He needs to draw a 5-so so badly. And there's 2 out. 3-so as well would save him. 6-pin, that's not good. He'll start with the 8 mon. Could have also played 5 mon as well. And he's just floating the options. We're gonna have a Ricci chase from Lewis, and Max might want to reconsider. South will go through. It's a 6-9 pin for Ricci Pinku. Ipeiko as well for Lewis. So Mangan potential, but here's the Tenpai. Can't just take this. This is where you wish you'd dropped 5 mon earlier. Hey, we were talking about this.
Will justify it.
We'll play the 6-pin, and that will be a chance for Mangan on the Ura. Misses, so 3,900. Max going to drop a little bit lower, and Lewis gets back over 30k. So picking up a couple of Ricci sticks is pretty important as well.
And I was going to say, now we have an awkward all-last dealer for Ichika who wants to continue this first place, but this hand is pretty strong. Looking like a Renshan in the making for Reach Pinfu, potentially. Maybe just a Rishi Nomi.
It is. Ooh, another pair.
That makes it really weird.
Okay.
Good thing is, Josue across might just say, you know what? Doesn't matter what anybody else has. My hand is great. I have this Chun Yakuai I can
Hoko.
call. Okay, we've got the
Hoko. Okay,
Nako.
we're getting serious about this hand now.
We're getting weird. One-So can't call that for Yaku. God, even on the right, we have this like Peiko, Chitoi, and we are even going to have Luis fully commit to the Chitoi, dropping the 9-So for max efficiency.
Easy
with
1-So 1-So
pin.
here.
Yeah, Tanyao, Ishanten, potentially,
feeling-
or just a Richinomi.
C.
Extremely rewarded when the second 1-So comes out. You're like, yeah, I wasn't going to get that Saranko draw anyway. Speaking of Saranko, Max now has drawn a third copy of the 9-Mod, but drops the Dora. And just in time, too, because Lewis pulls in the pair of Dora immediately afterwards. Chitoi Tempai with Dora, too, even. How does he want to play it? He's going to hold the Dama for now. The gap to first place is achievable. It's just over 12,000 points, but direct hit is possible if you pick a sneaky weight like the East. It's Hell Weight East for Lewis. So anyone who draws it will drop it almost certainly.
That's the thing about Hell Weight. You know, is the weight good? No. Is if anybody draws it, are they going to drop it?
Oh, no,
but the
Max.
2-pin! Max is smart.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any other options.
Oh,
It's
but there
next.
gets Tempai. Decides Hell Weight East isn't good enough. Reach Chitoi Dora 2. No Ura, but the 9K enough to do it.
That will leave
Good
the positions
second.
the same. Each got claiming the first place. I have to say, it would have been hilarious if somehow Max, you would never do this. You would never ever do this. But if somehow we decided to wait on the Hellweight East as well, and it went to Ryukyoku and they just stared across the table at each other, that would have been the funniest thing ever.
Sometimes you gotta just run it down and you'd be like, you know what, gotta make a power move, and then you look at somebody else and you're like, oh, okay, great minds think alike. You know, naturally two people get to the same endpoint.
Incredible stuff there. Not the Uratsu for the Hanuman, but still a big second place for Lewis. Gets up 17 points out of that. So standings will update eventually, but moves up to plus 66 for Lewis. So that hops a spot in the standings. Max will drop back down a little bit. Ichika, big first place, plus 39, will move ahead of both Max and Ryan in the standings. So she's climbing up to that promotion zone. And yeah, super solid game all around. I mean, this table is so fun to watch.
So strong for B3 and so fun. Yeah. It I mean, again, we say it all the time, but it's crazy to see a table that's playing like that at B3, whereas you're like a couple seasons ago that was unheard of. Would have been
these players will not be in B3 for that long, I'm sure.
Well, you say that, but there's only so many people who promote out, and now
there's
it's
only
like,
so many people that can go up. And because the Armel has grown so much, it used to be that there'd be a lot of bonus promotion spots, but we are filling up, and it's a little bit trickier to get up there. Of course, we still have double promotion opportunities, and there go the standings updated. Each got actually into that 7th spot, so she's
slides in
straight into that zone. But it is, we can't leave here. There's something very important that we have to look back on, and it is not Dennis's past run. Although I would love to go back to that.
That was a great play. That's a skill play. I'm a fan of
that. So there are some people. It was spoiled a little bit before, but there's some people who are watching this stream right now who probably haven't heard the spoiler. So let's not spoil it. Let's get into the game itself and see exactly what went down, and maybe you will viewers will understand exactly why we got so excited about one of the hands from the most recent game. It was actually from this table, so they have been chugging through all the games of this series, and we're certainly happy to have caught 2 of them. And a little sad that we missed the first one because that was apparently quite spicy.
That's how it is. I'm telling you, something in the lower league waters is like completely different. Although I say that, but I've already witnessed a Yakuman in 4 games in A1 with
In A1?
16 people. So,
Which Yakuman was it?
Suwanko from somebody who was folding against another Ichi. It was ridiculous.
Folded into Suwanko?
I went Yakitori no deal in and had an under 10K game. I was like, what are we doing here? And of course, it was 2 Richinomi members who got first and second. And I was like, okay, sure.
Understandable. All right, well, we're into the game. Nice high
Greens, reds. Okay, sure.
4 pairs. Looks like a,
Maybe
Hold
go
home.
Honitsu. Okay, we'll play efficient 7-pin. Ooh, DC across. That's no fun. 5-pin, no
good because we cut the
Honitsu.
6
We're not
already.
breaking the shade. Oh,
Tempai
dealer's
already.
Tempai. 3 6-mon, 3 so. Very good. Oh, okay. We got.
I see where this is going.
3
I see where
pairs.
this is going.
Boom.
Home.
I can do the math.
Boom.
Throw 1 pin.
Home. Senpai straight away with the Yakuman all but confirmed, and it comes out.
And we get back to Dadashi.
Welcome back to the game. Here is minus 32.
I think the stat on that is what, like 5% after 2 dragons are called that they can even call the third one.
It's low, but also
it's
how many
5%
Tadashi were
they
made,
can,
right?
I think it's 5% they can call it at all, not count, including Ron. So it's 5% they call it either pawn or Ron.
I would
So
love
just
to
insanely
see
low.
the stats on the likelihood of being Daisongan after cutting a pair.
That would be interesting, yeah.
Boom.
And look at this discard pond.
And I'm like, after 2 dragon calls, you're gonna cut 4 pin.
All the
and a
tiles that
pair?
come out, the tiles discarded by Ichika are 1 pin, 1 pin, 4 pin, 5 pin, 6 pin, 7 pin. Nothing
Yeah,
but
you're like-
pins have come out.
You're like, you know what? Maybe I can just play defense this hand. Maybe I don't want to take any risks. Let's play 3 pin.
Players probably thought it was Honitsu. It could have been. It could
Very
have been.
realistically.
With perfect foresight. Of course, if Ichika doesn't drop the 7 pin, then the draw order changes and everything changes. So
Yeah,
it
we'll
was
play
just the
butterfly
perfect
effect.
storm. What a beautiful hand. And the tune is in the wall. It's coming.
I mean,
It's
I'd
coming.
hate to say it should have been me, but that's actually the truth of it. Should have been me. It's been like 6 months since I hit a Yakuman, something like that. I'm due. Any day now, surely.
And well, that is part of the reason why Ichika has been climbing, right? It's
Yep.
You start with a Yakuman, you get a couple more wins. She's been having a great day of mahjong today and climbing in the standings, as we noted. But it's been a long day of mahjong. I know you've been here for a lot longer than I have. So, and Ty's been here the whole time. By the way, huge shout out to Ty. I took a nap before the broadcast, and I didn't wake up. My alarm didn't go off, and Ty's like, you know what? I gotcha. I can dual role, stream, and broadcast at the same time. And Ty is an absolute champ.
I got you.
Yeah, you've been taking over a lot of the broadcasts this season, which is awesome. We'd love to have more broadcasters. And huge shout out, while we're on this topic, to all of the volunteers of the American Region Mahjong League. There are so many commentators and broadcasters and people who help with the scheduling, and just so many people who help in making this league so awesome. So I feel like we just have to shout out a huge thank you to all the people who are helping out with the league. That being said, are we calling it? Are we calling it a night? Folks, is this the end of the Wednesday night craziness?
I might need to call it. I don't know about you guys, but
I think this is a game.
Hey, everybody who tuned in, thank you so much. It was an absolute blast. It's so much more fun. I mean, it's always fun to watch, but it's enhanced by watching the comments that come in when something crazy happen. And it's we, the fact that you're here watching is a big part of the reason why we continue to do this. So we'll absolutely continue to have more Wednesday night mahjong. Look forward to next week. We're starting a new session, aren't we? Next week.
Yes.
We're hitting round 3.
Probably. I haven't played round 2 yet, and round 3 is getting delayed for me, so I don't know. A1's weird this season.
Yeah,
Natural 16-person nonsense.
I love it. You get to play everybody. It's an intimate group.
Of course,
it's fantastic. So definitely tune in next Wednesday, and of course check out our socials. Check out our YouTube channel. In fact, you don't even need to use that tiny URL that's on the screen. You can go straight to @AmericanRicci on YouTube. YouTube.com/@AmericanRicci, and you can find all our VODs. You can watch back this broadcast. You can watch Dennis doing absolute madness and getting rewarded for it midway through the stream. So also check out our website, AmericanRicci.org, if you want to be involved in the league. If you don't, even if you aren't going to be able to play immediately, you can act as a substitute player. You can check out our What Would You Do channel. We have so many of the top players in the U.S. in this server asking questions, answering questions about best practices for discards, good decisions to make in terms of hand reading other players, and it's always a great learning opportunity. So check it out, AmericanRicci.org. Any closing thoughts?
Wacky, zany Wednesday night Armel. Nothing better than it. Tune in again next week.
All right.
Always getting the same, if you're looking to direct, come help us out on the other days. There's always so many games that we see, but so many games we don't see where wacky, crazy Armel action happens, and the league's getting better season by season. Again, nothing better than this.
Yep. We can only cover one game at a time, so if you want to see more mahjong, sometimes you have to make it happen yourself. So,
yep.
All right. Well, we will look forward to seeing everybody next week. Thanks again for showing up, and have a great week.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Take care, all.